Okay. Now, let's see. So we have list of authorities who are involved in disciplinary proceedings. If a chartered accountant does something wrong, disciplinary proceedings will be done against him. Cases will be run against him. Cases will be filed and executed against him. So what are the authorities involved in these disciplinary proceedings? So at bottom we have disciplinary directorate. Work is to do initial investigation and give prima facie opinion, covered in section 21. Bigger than that, we have board of discipline, who is going to pass order if the case is of first schedule. Then bigger than that, we have disciplinary committee, section 21B, who are supposed to pass order if the case is of second schedule or both first and second schedule. Then we have appellate authority. Appellate authority, if you're not happy with the orders of board of discipline or disciplinary committee, you can go to appellate authority, covered by section 22A to 22G. No need to remember these sections. These disciplinary authorities are going to have same power as civil court. They can order, they can summon people, they can ask for people, interviewing people, documents, all similar powers will be there with them. Now, very important thing, guys, government was not happy with how CA Institute was conducting its disciplinary proceedings. They were not happy because they thought they are not punishing their own people. They are protecting their own chartered accountants. So, CA Act was amended. There is a CA CS CWA Amendment Act 2021. It was amended. It was passed on 5th of April by Rajya Sabha. A 76-page amendment act is passed. Now listen guys, there will be few changes. But now we don't know how much of that act will be covered in our course right now. So we have to wait for statutory update from the CA Institute. Doesn't make sense that we go and read that 76 pages. See, majorly they are going to decrease powers of institutes, authorities, and they are going to increase power of central government. That's the only change which is going to happen, and the changes are not big. I have seen the changes are not big, but then we don't know right now how much of that act will be taken in our course. So we'll have to wait for that. To my knowledge, everything is going to remain as it is. Only few things here and there, few powers of the governments will be increased, few power of these disciplinary bodies will be decreased. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Stay connected to our Auditguru Telegram channel and our YouTube channel, Ravi Taori YouTube channel. You will get all the changes and amendments there. You can put it on auditguru.in website. We answer the queries on regular basis. Now, how these disciplinary procedures take place? If any chartered accountant has done something wrong, if he has done misconduct, then a complaint will be sent. Information will be sent by any aggrieved person to disciplinary directorate office. Director discipline information has to be sent. Disciplinary directorate will study the information complaint, will do initial investigation and find out prima facie whether a misconduct has happened. If disciplinary directorate thinks misconduct has happened and misconduct is of first schedule, they will forward the case to board of discipline. Now you do further investigation, pass the order for misconduct. If misconduct is of second schedule or both first and second schedule, they will forward this court case to disciplinary committee that you do further investigation, pass the order whether misconduct has happened. So discipline director is only for initial investigation and forwarding the cases. He is like a traffic police person. If there is no misconduct, then also he will have to forward the case to board of discipline with all the details. Board of discipline will decide whether the case should be closed or whether further investigation should be done for the case. So again, he is simply forwarding the cases. Decisions and orders are passed by board of discipline disciplinary committee. Now let's see. Let's understand difference between board of discipline and disciplinary committee. Board of discipline is going to handle cases of first schedule. Disciplinary committee is going to handle case of first schedule, second schedule, or both first or both the schedules. Board of discipline is for small misconduct, so only 3-member team. Here there will be a 5-member team. Now, out of 3, 1 will come from council, 1 will come from central government, and chairperson by council. So ultimately control is of the council. Exactly this point. Government said that these committees and boards are controlled by you and you are not taking action against your own chartered accountants. So they have amended this thing. But then let's wait for the statutory update from Board of Studies. They are going to simply increase power of central government and reduce power of the council. That's it. In disciplinary committee, 5-member will be there. 2 will come from council, present council. 2 will come from central government, and chairman will come from president or vice president. So again, control of the council members only. There is only one board of discipline, but there can be multiple disciplinary committees. There can be different benches of disciplinary committee if there are more cases involved. Board of discipline is going to follow summary disposal procedure. Disciplinary committee is going to follow specified disposal procedure. What is the punishment these guys can give? See, punishments are not big, but then if you get punishment, if you are guilty, then it will be difficult for you to get work, government work, corporate work, empanelment. It will be difficult because everywhere people will see you from point of view of a wrongdoer. Correct? So now, board of discipline can reprimand. That means they can scold you or remove you from membership up to 3 months, or remove you from membership up to 3 months, or fine up to 1 lakh rupees. They can do 3 things. Disciplinary committee can again reprimand you, or there can be permanent removal of membership. Yes, that's dangerous. Or fine up to 5 lakh rupees. So these guys, this is a bigger misconduct, bigger fines are there. Appellate authority. If any person is not, if you are not happy with order passed by board of discipline or disciplinary committee, then aggrieved person or CA, or very interesting, director discipline. So director discipline after taking permission from ICI. So one authority of ICI is going against another authority. If aggrieved person or CA or director discipline is unhappy with the order passed by BOD or DC, they can within 90 days go to appellate authority. Okay. Now appellate authority, how it is different? Chairman is a neutral person. He is a past High Court judge. 2 past council members, not present council members, past council members are there. 2 past council members, 2 government nominees, 2 past council members, to government. Now this appellate authority is controlled by government. it will be a part-time, all members will be part-time. That means they will meet only for the cases, take decisions and then again go back. Tenure will be 3 years, but retirement age of chairman will be 65 years and for member it will be 62 years. What are their powers? They can simply confirm whatever order is passed is correct, or bigger than that, they can change penalties. Bigger than that, they can modify the order. Bigger than that, they can set aside, cancel the order. Bigger than that, they can send back the case for re-investigation to Board of Discipline or Disciplinary Committee. They can do whatever they deem fit. It is in an increasing order. So they are very powerful. Very powerful. They should always give opportunity of being heard to the concerned parties, then pass the order. See, chairperson or member can resign, but they will not be relieved immediately. It will be 3 months, or by the time new person comes, or by the time their term expire, whichever happens earlier. They will not be removed immediately. Chairman or member can be removed if there is a proven misbehavior. If he has done something wrong, not followed his duty, or there is an incapacity, physical or mental inability. Central government can do inquiry and they can pass order after opportunity of being heard. So there is an appellate authority sitting to take actions. Now, very simple sections. Section 24. Section 24. If a non-CA claims that he is a chartered accountant, describe himself as a chartered accountant and uses designation chartered accountant, he is fooling others, he will be punished. If a person is not having COP, claims that he is having COP and he is doing practice without COP, he will be punished. So if there is a breach of section 6, he will be punished here. If any institute other than ICI claims that they also give CA degree, use similar name and seals, they say that we also regulate CA profession. If a non-CA institute try to act like a CA institute, correct? Non-CA trying to act as CA, non-COP holder trying to act as COP holder, any other institute try to act like a CA institute, first time they will be punished with 1,000. Now it is so small, it is like encouraging. Second time they will be punished 5,000 or imprisonment of 6 months or both. Now second time it is dangerous, 6 months or both, imprisonment. Section 25. If a CA incorporates a company and gives accountancy services in corporate form, accounting service in corporate form, that is prohibited. Making a company to give accountancy services is prohibited. If it does it first time, fine of 1,000. Second time, fine of 5,000. You cannot form a company for giving accountancy services. That is not allowed. Then, that is not allowed. It's a very sensitive job. There cannot be any backdoor entry also. If a CA makes a LLP and one of the partner is a company, that LLP cannot do CA practice, they cannot give accountancy services. Means none of the partners should be company. Again, there is a fine of 1,000 and second time it is a fine of 5,000. So, you cannot use company format to give accountancy services and there cannot be backdoor entry with the help of LLP of companies. If both the things are not allowed. Section 24 of Chartered Account Act 1949 provides that no company, whether incorporated in India or elsewhere, shall practice as chartered accountants. Here the term company shall include any limited liability partnership which has company as its partner for the purpose of this section. Company cannot provide accountancy services, and LLP with company as a partner cannot do that. If company contravenes this provision, then without prejudice to any other proceedings which may be taken against the company, every director, manager, secretary, any other officer thereof who is knowingly party to such contravention shall be punishable with a fine which may extend first conviction to 1,000 and any other subsequent conviction to 5,000. So these fines should need to get increased. In addition, as per section 141 subsection 2 of Companies Act, where a firm including a limited liability partnership is appointed as auditor of a company, then only the partners who are chartered accountants shall authorize to act and sign on behalf of the firm. Okay. Now, we know that when it comes to signing, only partners should sign. So this partner should sign. This is related to section 26, which we are going to study. If a non-CA does forgery, he forges sign of a practicing chartered accountant or partner of a CA firm and signs reports and certificates, that's a very big crime. Non-CA signing on behalf of practicing CA firm doing forgery. First of all, only partners should sign documents on behalf of the firm. Non-CAs doing forgery, doing such things, first time he will be punished 5,000 to 1 lakh rupees. It's a very serious. Now you are simply saying that I am a chartered accountant, that is one thing. You are signing reports, certificates, financial statement doing forgery. It's a fraud. 5,000 to 1 lakh. See, the fine is increasing from the level it ended, 5,000 to 1 lakh. Second time someone did that, it will go from 10,000 to 2 lakh rupees. First of all, only partners can sign. That is what Companies Act says. And section 26 says, if someone else is doing it, forging their signatures, he will be severely punished. You can open any number of branches. CA in practice can open any number of branches it wants. A number of branches. No problem at all. No restriction in opening branches. But there's only one condition, that there should be a separate in charge for each office to maintain quality of services. To maintain quality of services which are given at that office. That's extremely important. Okay. Now, 3 things about separate in charge. That separate in charge should be a chartered accountant. He may or may not be in practice. He may or may not be in practice. No problem at all. He may be in practice, he may not be in practice. He should be associated with the CA firm he should be associated with the firm as a partner or as a full-time employee. Either as a partner or a full-time employee. Third, he should have active association. That means either he resides in that particular city for at least 182 days in a year, or he attends such office. He attends such office for not less than 182 days in a year. He should attend such office for not less than, he should go do up down and attend office not less than 182 days. So he has to prove active association. Either you are staying in that city, you are attending the office, or you have to prove in any other manner that you give instructions, you have discussion, you ask for documents, you are doing supervision, you are doing Zoom calls. You have to prove it to the executive committee of ICAI that there is an active association. So these 3 conditions should be satisfied. An active association can be proved in 3 ways. There are exemptions. If you are having a main office and you open a second office, if you open a second office in the same premises, same building, You need not have a separate in charge. It's a second office. You can easily supervise it. No separate in charge required. If you open office in same city, again, either it can be in same premises, same complex, same city, or very interesting, 50 km from the municipal limit of the city in which first office is situated. 50 km is not from first office. 50 km is not from first office. It is from municipal limits. Municipal limits of the city in which first office is situated. That's interesting. Distance is not between first office and second office. From municipal limit to second office. So if the second office is in same premises or same city or within 50 km from the municipal limits, separate in charge is not required. We are discussing exemption. Separate in charge is not required here. In exams questions, they give kilometers, they don't specify. Sometimes they say that it is from first office. We don't want from first office, we want from municipal limits. Then we have to assume that it is from first office. It is from municipal limits. If they don't give distance, we have to give conditional answer. If distance is less than 50 kilometers, this is the answer. More than 50 kilometers, this is the answer. So they do goof up with the kilometers. You should be careful and you will have to take assumptions or give conditional answers. An assumption is simple, that it is from municipal limit only because that distance is relevant and important for us. Second exemption. Suppose a CA is having office in hilly region. So in winters, it becomes difficult to work in hilly areas because of snow and because of cold. They can open temporary office in the plain area for 3 months. Not exceeding 3 months. They can open for maximum 3 months. They will have to inform CA Institute before opening. Before winter season, they have to inform we are going to open. After closing, they have to inform we have closed. So you can do that, inform. And original office need not be closed. It can be open at the same time. So you can have 2 offices and communication will keep happening. Communication can still keep happening with the original office. Regular office not closed. Now remember, name of the board of the firm can be there. Temporary board can be there. Temporary board can be there in front of temporary office. But once office is closed, that board should be removed. When office is not in function, name of the board should be removed. So temporary board can be there for 3 months. After 3 months, it should be removed. And this address of the temporary office should not be there on the visiting cards. It should not be on the visiting cards and it should not be on the letterhead. Not on the visiting cards and not on the letterheads. It's not allowed. So temporary office, and this temporary office need not have a separate in charge. So if your office is in hilly region, you can go for this exemption. Now, from drafting it is apparent and from intention it is apparent that it is for winter season. This exemption is for winter season. But Board of Studies, they gave a question in mock test paper and they use the month of April, May, June. That's not winter. So I spoke to them. They're not ready to listen. They say that this exemption is for any months. Only communication should be done before winter. Doesn't make sense. If the question comes, you have to give both the point of view. I firmly believe that this is for winter. This exemption is for winter season only. But they are saying that this is okay. Even in April, May, June, you can get this exemption. Not happy with that. You give first our interpretation that it is for winter season. And then if required, you can go for, you can go for, you give the other interpretation also. Other opinion also. Okay, we have missed a very simple point. Okay, we have missed 2 points. If suppose, sometimes it happens, if 2 branches are situated in same office, same accommodation, suppose there are 2 sister firms, they open 2 branches in a city, but they right now they are situated in the same accommodation. If it is there that there are 2 firms, 2 branch offices in same accommodation, a single person can be in charge of 2 branches. So it is possible that if 2 branches are located in same accommodation, then you can have 1 person in charge of both the branches. Further, when it comes to name board, it's important that, see, at firm you can put name of the firm, chartered accountant, ABC and associate chartered accountants. But when it comes to personal residence, you should put name. When it comes to personal residence, you should put name only chartered accountant, not the firm name. Your name and chartered accountant, not the firm name. At personal residence, you should never advertise, highlight your firm's name. That is not allowed. It should be there only. It should be there only at head office and branch offices. However, exemption has been given to members practicing in hill areas, subject to certain conditions. These conditions are such members' firm will be allowed to open temporary office in city in plains for a limited period of 3 months in a year. 3 months in a year, the regular office need not be closed during this period, and all correspondence can continue to be made to regular office. Correspondences will continue there. Both the offices will function. The name board of the firm is temporary office should not be displaced other than the period at which is permitted to function. It should be there only for 3 months. The temporary office should not be mentioned in the letterheads, visiting cards or any other documents of place of business of member or firm. Before commencement of every winter, it shall be obligatory on the member firms to inform the institute that he or they is opening temporary office from particular date, and after the office is closed at expiry of the period of permission, an intimation to that effect should be sent to the office. Above conditions apply to additional office situated at a place beyond 50 kilometers. Beyond 50 kilometers. Above can apply to, see, if it is beyond 50 kilometers, you need separate in charge from the municipal limits in which any office is situated. It is necessary to mention that chartered accountant in charge of branch of any other firm should be associated with him or with the firm either as a partner or paid assistant. Person should be associated. If he is a paid assistant, he must be in whole time employment with him. The requirement of section 26 in regard to member being in charge of office of chartered accountant in practice or firm of chartered accountant shall be satisfied only if the member is actively associated with such office. Such active association should be there. Such association shall be deemed to exist if the member resides in place where the office is situated for a period not less than 182 days, either stay there, or if he attends the said office for a period not less than 182 days in a year, or in such other circumstances as in the opinion of the executive committee establish such active association. 3 ways of establishing active association. We have studied this. However, a member can be in charge of two offices if they are located in one at the same accommodation. In this context, some of the council decisions are as follows. With regard to use of name board, there will be no bar. There will be no bar to putting up a name board in the place of residence of member with designation chartered accountant, provided it is nameplate or name board of individual member, not the firm. At your residence, you can put your name and put designated chartered accountant. Using designation is allowed, but you cannot use name of the firm. Use chartered accountant, not name of the firm. The exemption may be granted to member of the firm of chartered accountant in practice to have second office without such second office being under the separate charge of a member of the institute, provided second office is located in the same premises. If it is same premises in which first office is located, or second office located in same city, exemption is there if it's same premises, same city. And remember, it is second office, not third and fourth and fifth office. The second office is located within distance of 50 km from municipal limits of city in which the first office is located. 50 km from the municipal limits. A member having two offices of type referred to above shall have to declare which of the two offices is main office and which constitutes his professional address. See, we have seen section 27. Now, there is one more thing which is not given in the module, but a question was asked. Section 27.2. Whenever you open a branch office or you close a branch office, you have to intimate. CA Institute. It is important that you intimate CA Institute about it. Regulation 189 further says that intimation should be sent within 1 month of opening or closing branch office. So in one of the questions, they did everything right, but they didn't inform institute. It was considered misconduct because it's a non-compliance of section 27.2 and non-compliance of regulation 189. Now let's see section 28 to 28D. It's in short right now in professional ethics. We are going to see these things in detail when we see chapter number 17, that is of peer review and quality review. So, government was worried about deteriorating quality of the work by chartered accountants. Government already knows that we have concept of peer review where experienced chartered accountant, they go and see work of other CA firms. Are they doing their audit work properly or not? Even after that, government established their own quality review board. And what's so special in this board? It is controlled by the government. There will be 10 members in the board and one chairman. 5 member and chairman will be appointed by central government. So that's the big thing. They control the board, and 5 members will be appointed by the CA Institute. Now, these people will be from the field of economics, finance, business, accounts, and law. What is the work of this board? Board is going to go and observe. See what is the level of service. What is the level of service? What is the quality of service which is given by chartered accountants? They are going to observe that, going to analyze that. After that, they are going to guide chartered accountants how they can improve their quality, how they can become better, how can they become more and more reliable. And next, they are going to recommend. They are going to recommend council of ICI how they can make changes in the whole system to make overall quality better and things more and more reliable. So that is quality review board. Then finally, the most important thing in professional ethics, below CA Act, you are going to find 2 schedules. Below, after the section, you're going to find 2 schedules, Schedule 1, Schedule 2. So it's an overview of first and second schedule. In part 1, you are going to have 12 clauses. Part 2, there will be 2 clauses. Part 3, 3 clauses. Part 4, 2 clauses. So total 19 clauses of first schedule. Don't worry about that. I will make you remember all these clauses easily. Then second schedule, part 1 there will be 10 clauses, part 2 4 clauses, part 3 1 clause, total 15 clauses. So in total we are going to have 34 clauses, and we are supposed to remember each and every clause number accurately and mention clause number every time we solve the case. Every time clause number is mandatory. If you don't write proper clause number, your marks will be deducted. Now, shortcut to remember all the 19 clauses of a schedule. We are going to use very interesting memory recognition technique. So you have to just remember the images. Everything else will happen automatically. So first image is Nargis Fakhri. She is an actress. Okay. Nargis, and then we have Paresh Rawal in blue shirt, then again Alia Bhatt in blue dress, and then Prabhudeva in white shirt. So these are the 4 actresses. These are the 4 clauses. See, if you remember the image, everything else will flow automatically. So we have Nargis, then we have Paresh Rawal, then we have Alia Bhatt, then we have Prabhudeva. So clause number 1 is on name. Who can work independently in the name of CA firm? Who can sit in the office of CA firm and work independently and manage the clients on behalf of them? Okay, so who can work in the name of CA firm? That is clause number 1. See, we are just seeing the shortcut. We are going to study the clauses later on. Then Paresh Rawal, can CA in practice pay share of his fees to anyone? That is clause number 2. Then Alia Bhatt, can CA in practice accept share of the fees from anyone? Then Prabhudeva, partnership. With whom CA in practice can enter into partnership agreement? Okay, so these are the 4 actress. And now guys, remember, you will don't try to remember the numbers. Numbers will come automatically. If someone says accepting share of the fees, that is Alia Bhatt 1 2 3, paying share of the fees Paresh Rawal 2, numbers will come automatically. Now 4 of them, they are having their own cars, maybe more own cars. So right facing pitch black, we have Scorpio. Then we have shining Audi. Remember, focus on the images. Then we have left facing Duster, and then we have again stylish. It is stylish Camry. So we have black right facing Scorpio, then shining Audi, then left facing Duster, and then Camry. So the 4 cars they are having. Scorpio, securing work. Who can secure work for CA in practice? Audi is for advertisement. Can CA in practice do advertisement for his practice? Then Duster, what designation CA in practice can use? Then Camry, communication with the previous auditor. Is it mandatory for CA in practice to communicate with the previous auditor? So guys, simple. First is Scorpio, then we have Audi, then we have Duster, then we have Camry. Again 4 clause done. 4 plus 4, that is 8. Then we have Temple, that is from Ranchi. Then we have Fort, that is from Firozabad. Then we have Iconic Hotel, that is Taj Hotel, that is Bombay. Then we have Idol, and that is Shirdi Sai Baba. Okay, that is from Shirdi. So these are the 4 location, 4 cities they are visiting. Quickly, Temple, it is Shirdi. Then we have Fort, that is Firozabad. Then we have Hotel, that is Bombay, and then Shirdi. Okay, now Ranchi. CA in practice need to ensure that requirement of Companies Act are fulfilled before he accepts the assignment. Then fees, CA in practice cannot charge fees on percentage basis. Then Bombay, CA in practice cannot go for any other business or occupation. Then Shirdi, that is signing. Who can sign financial statements and reports on the behalf of CA firm? So guys, these are 12 clauses. 4 actresses, 4 cars, and 4 cities. Then first schedule part 2 is for chartered accountants in job, in service. That is Ek Tha Tiger. Ek Tha Tiger, that is a movie, and Ashiki. Okay, so Salman, you can see Salman Bhai, and then Katrina Kaif, and then we have Kunal Kapoor and Shraddha Kapoor. So Ek Tha Tiger. Can CA in service share emoluments? That means it's his salary, bonus, commission commercially with anyone. Then Ashiki, can CA in service accept share of fees from anyone else? We are going to see clauses later. So it's clause 1, clause 2. Part 2 is for CAs in service, CAs in job. Then we have part 3, yellow color, we have Fafda. Then white color, we have Rasagulla. Then we have tea. Fafda can associate chartered accountant cannot call himself fellow chartered accountant. We are going to say Fafda, that is for fellow chartered accountant. If you are not fellow chartered accountant, you cannot call yourself fellow chartered accountant. We are going to see Fafda. Then Rasgulla, replying. If you don't reply to request of CA Institute and its authorities, it will be a professional misconduct. Replying. Then T is for tender. While filing up the tender, CAs cannot give false information. So we have FCA, Fafda is for FCA, fellow chartered accountant, Rasgulla is for replying, and then T is for tender. First schedule part 4, that is other misconduct. So you can see handcuffs, that is imprisonment. If a chartered accountant is imprisoned, it is other misconduct, clause 1. Then we can see shame on you. If CA does something which is being disrepute to the institute, discredit to the institute, shame of you, that is clause 2. So guys, 12 clauses of part 1, 2 clauses for part 2, 3 clauses for part 3, and 2 clauses for part 4. Total it is 19. Just focus on the images. You will automatically retain exactly clause numbers. You will retain all of them. Okay. So it's very simple, guys. So if someone says accepting fees, Alia Bhatt, clause number 3. If someone says advertisement, that is Audi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if someone says fellow chartered accountant, that is part 3. Clause 1, and so on. So just remember the image, and it is comparatively, it is very easy to remember images as compared to text. That is a proven fact, guys. Our memory remembers images quite fast as compared to anything else. So now first schedule part 1 is applicable to chartered accountants in practice. Now the person can be practicing as on individual level as a single person, or he may have his own firm where a lot of people are working for him, or person can be into a partnership firm. Irrespective of that, it is applicable to all the chartered accountants who are in practice. Now clause number 1. Why do we have clause number 1? It is there to maintain quality of services which is given at the CA offices, to maintain the quality. What it says in CA firm, CA offices, person who can sit in the office and independently handle the clients on behalf of CA firm, that person has to be a good person. So that person, to maintain quality, should be that person should be CA in practice. Okay. And he should be associated with the firm either as a partner or as an employee. So 2 conditions. Person should be CA, person who is sitting in CA firms and independently handling clients on its own and representing the firm should be CA in practice, and he should be associated as a partner or as an employee. See, we have seen section 27. In that, in charge should be CA, irrespective of whether in practice or not, supervisor, and he should be associated as a partner or employee. But then they are going one step ahead. They say that when it comes to handling the clients independently, supervision is a different thing. Handling client independently, then that person should be CA in practice only. See, in India and at many places, traditional practices, suppose someone is having shop, so person, sometimes mom is sitting, dad is sitting, brother is sitting, sister is sitting, spouse is sitting, wife is sitting in the shop and they're managing the shop. This should not happen with the CA offices. So they have categorically said that, let's remember, in your office only professionals will sit, not your relatives and cousins, and they will sit and run the show. To maintain quality, they have taken this important step. Now guys, whenever you write the clause, you're supposed to write the clause in answer. You write this thing: CA in practice will be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct. It is a standard line in front of each and every clause. In front of each and every clause, so you can write that. Now, writing the clause as it is a difficult thing. I think cramming as it is the whole language is difficult. I don't promote it. Simply write this first line: CA will be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he allows any person other than who is not a CA in practice or person who is not a partner or employee of the firm to represent the firm and handle clients independently. Use your own language, guys. Cramming language as it is strictly not, I don't support it. And one more thing, when we study these clauses, don't see it from the point of view of direct tax, indirect tax, or law. There is not going to be word by word interpretation. It's a very old law. It's a law of 1949. It doesn't get amended frequently. It gets amended once in 10 years. And some parts are little outdated. So please do. And so the interpretation is not more of words. It is about how CA Institute interprets it and what kind of clarifications they have given. Okay. So here in professional ethics, literal word by word interpretation is not important. You need to understand the flow, the pattern, what kind of thought process ICAI has developed. You need to focus on that, and automatically you will be able to solve all the cases and give bang on target correct answers. Simply follow the way we have made these charts and notes, and everything will be fine. So can a non-CA, BCom, MCom, MBA, CFP sit in a CA office and handle clients independently? Answer is no. That's not allowed. That's not allowed. What about relatives? Can relatives sit, spouse, brother, sister, and handle clients independently? Answer is no. You need a person who can maintain the quality, CA in practice, and associate as a partner or employee. Can a CA who is not in practice do that? No. Can a CA in practice who is not a partner employee do that? No. Foreign professional, can CPA, CFA, FRM, someone sits in the office and does the work on behalf of the firm? Foreign professionals? No, that is not allowed. Two conditions: CA in practice, either a partner or employee. Only these two conditions should be fulfilled. Now, next is clause number 2, paying share of the fees. So the question is, to whom CA in practice can pay share of the fees? Now it's logical. You pay share of the fees to people who work for you, who work in the assignment. So it is a CA in practice can share his work and his fees with whom? What kind of people? So logic is, CA in practice should share his work, should delegate his work and share his fee with knowledgeable, skillful and ethical people. That's very important, ethical people. So they say that practicing chartered accountant can agree to pay or allows to deduct share of the fees, allows to deduct any portion of the fees in the name of share or brokerage or commission, only with there are member related points and then partner related points. In totality 6. So let's see first member related points. A practicing chartered accountant can share his work and his fees with knowledgeable and ethical people. So there are 3 types of members. He can share it with member in practice. Member in practice, that means a chartered accountant. Yes, he can share it with another member in practice. Definitely, a chartered accountant is knowledgeable, skillful, and ethical person. Then second, he can share it with members of other professional bodies whose list is prescribed. Yes, he can share with members of other professional bodies also if those professional bodies are covered in the list. Now, they give 2 types of list of Indian professional bodies and list of foreign professional bodies. And this list is given in Regulation 53A. We are going to see Regulation 53A. Then third, they can share their work and fees with members having prescribed qualification. When I call members, it simply means person. So there are 3 member related points here. So you can share your work and fees with member of ICAI, member of other professional bodies. It can be Indian professional bodies and foreign professional bodies, and 3 members having qualification. Okay, now let's see this Regulation 53A. Regulation 53A, first of all, it gives list of members of professional bodies. Members of professional bodies. First, it gives list of Clause 1, it gives list of Indian professional bodies. Indian professional bodies. So Regulation 53A, clause number 1 gives list of Indian professional bodies. Okay, Indian professional bodies. And now there are 5 types of there are 5 Indian professional bodies. Simply think about the courses which CA students do along with CA. They do CS, so member of CS Institute. They do CMA, so member of COS Institute, member of CW Institute, or member of COS Institute, you can say. Then some people do LLB, member of Bar Council of India. Some people really do course of actuaries, so member of Indian Institute of Actuaries, and then Indian Institute of Architect. Indian Institute of Architect. So CA in practice can share fees with members of professional bodies. So the first list is member of Indian professional bodies. So we can share fees with member of 5 professional bodies. Then Regulation 53A, Regulation 53A to 53A, Clause 2 is list of foreign professional bodies. List of foreign professional bodies. List of foreign professional bodies. Now CA in practice. CA in practice can share. CA in practice can share their work and fees with foreign professional bodies. Which foreign professional bodies? For professional bodies which are recognized under Section 29 and with whom we are having MOU or MRA. Section 29 gives power to the council that you can sign MOU, MRA with foreign professional bodies. If they welcome you in their country, you welcome them in our country. So you can have MOU, MRA. You can have MOU, MRA with them. So we can share fees with all the professional bodies who are approved under Section 29, there with whom we have MOU and MRA. Okay, so we've already seen that England, Ireland, South Africa, Australia, Canada, with these guys we can share our work and fees also. Then members having qualification. It is members having qualification. Regulation 53A clause 3. Regulation 53A clause 3. members having prescribed qualification. Members having prescribed qualification. Okay, guys. Now, members having prescribed qualifications. Now they have given list of 7 qualifications and 5 are exactly same which we have seen earlier. Sir, what is difference between member of professional bodies and having qualifications? They have covered 5 again: CS, CWA, LLB, actuary, architect. Now listen, guys. Sometimes people they complete their exams. But then they don't do articleship. They don't fulfill certain training conditions. They don't take membership. So there can be people who have completed their exams, but they don't have membership. Such people are called qualified people. So we can share our work and fees with qualified CS, qualified CWA, qualified then LLB, actuary, and qualified architect, with all of them. And there are 2 additions. We can share our work and fees with BE, Bachelor of Engineer, and BTech. If you do engineering from a national institute, it is called BTech. So basically engineers. We can do sharing. We can share our fees with engineers, and we can do it with MBA also. Just ensure that these qualifications are established or recognized by Indian law, by Indian authorities like All India Council of Technical Education. So if a person does MBA from Harvard, from Oxford, they come to India, we cannot do sharing with them, because the qualifications which are established by Indian law or recognized by Indian law, only those qualification we value only those qualification here for sharing work and fees. Indian government wants to promote Indian courses, Indian people. Okay. So when it comes to member, 3 type of member, we can do it: member of ICM, member of professional bodies. There are 2 types of professional bodies: Indian professional bodies and foreign professional bodies, and then members having qualification. Then we can share our work and fees with partners, partner related points. It's of a clarificatory nature. It is something which was already understood, but they have clarified these things. You can share your work and money with partners. Definitely, that is for what partners are. Then retired partner. Retired partner helped you a lot in explaining things on teachings, etc. So definitely you can share part of the fees with the retired partner as goodwill or etc. Then if there is a death of the partner, then you can share fees with legal hire of the deceased partner. But the condition is this clause of sharing fees with the legal hire of deceased partner should have been there in partnership deed even before the death. It should have been part of the partnership deed. It should not be a sudden decision. It should not be a sudden decision after the death. Otherwise this whole thing can be misused. So it should have been so sharing with the legal heir of the deceased partner is possible if it was part of the partnership deed. So we can share with 3 types of members, and we can share with 3 types of partner related people. So in totality we can share with 6 different type of people: our work and our fees. Let's see quickly, guys. Can we share 50% of the audit, 50% audit fees with the employee? Now whenever there is a doubt, there is lack of clarity, we have to take assumption in which the person is guilty. So employee is nowhere covered in the list. Employee is nowhere covered in the list. It is not covered in the list of members. It is not covered in partner related points. So this sharing is not allowed. If he does that, he will be guilty of professional misconduct under clause number 2. It is not allowed. Then again, sharing with the articles is not allowed. Sir, what if the employee is CA? Then definitely that is possible. But then here nothing is specified. We will assume that the person is not CA. So a chartered account took loan from finance company and said that I will pay you 6% interest plus 10% of my fees. Sharing fees with finance company. Sharing fees with finance company. Finance company is nowhere in the list of members or list which is related to partners. Again, this sharing will not be allowed. Then percentage of professional fees from, see what happens in cooperative society audit. In cooperative society audit, what happens there in cooperative society audit, part of the fees, of cooperative society audit is given to the state government as administrative charges. So you are sharing fees with the state government. What will happen here? So this is not a voluntary sharing. This is not a voluntary sharing. It is a mandatory thing. It is in the nature of tax. It is in the nature of tax. So it is absolutely fine. So it is absolutely fine. It is allowed. No problem at all. You can do the sharing. So it is like tax. It is like tax. So this sharing is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. It is allowed. No problem at all. Then sharing with CPA, CFA. You can share fees with foreign professionals only if it is covered. Only if we are having MOU MRA with them. As on today, we are not having MOU MRA with the US CPA and the CFA. So we cannot do sharing with them as well. What about qualification from foreign universities? No. We want LLB, actuaries, architects from Indian universities, not from foreign. We cannot do that with them. What if? Okay, let's discuss special case. Suppose there is a very intelligent CA, Chatur. So we have CA Chatur and he keeps track of all the oldies, old chartered accountants which stay nearby, which are in the city, so that if they pass away, with old age, he can go to their family members and ask them to sell name of the firm to him, and he can work with the name, with the place where a very reputed CA firm used to work. Okay. So Chatur keeps track of such chartered accountants, and if a proprietor CA die or when all the partners in the firm die, he goes to the family members after a few days, says that I was big fan of the sir, I have learned so much for him. Now I'll be very happy to work under his under the same CA firm name with the clientele and everything, and I will share. So a chartered accountant is coming up, taking over practice, and he says that I will share 40% of the fees, 40% of the fees with the legal hires. Now, can this happen? He's taking over the practice and he's sharing 40% of the fees. Is that possible? And suppose such kind of things were written in the partnership deed that legal hires can be paid share of the fees, 40% of the fees. Can such thing happen? Answer is no. Such thing cannot happen. Why? See, if a proprietor CA dies or all the partners CA die, all the partners die, it's a very special case. Now, new chartered accountant Chatur, who is coming up, he was never partner on papers with the people who died. So he cannot call people who died as his partners. So he cannot call this, these are legal hires of my partner. So on paper, he was never partner with the people who died. So he cannot do sharing under clause 2. So this is a special case. Special case is, let's see the special case. So special case is, suppose if an individual or a proprietor CA in practice die or all partners die, then new partner who is coming up, who is taking over the practice, he cannot share profits with the legal hire because he was never the partner. In such case, only one thing can happen, and that is transfer of goodwill. He can buy name of the firm, he can buy goodwill, he can buy the list of the clients and all the things which are there. He can buy that. for fixed amount, for lump sum amount. That amount can be paid at one stroke, or it can be paid in installment, but it should not be connected. It should not be connected with the fees in any manner. So guys, in this case, buying and selling of goodwill can happen. New chartered accountant can come and buy the goodwill. Legal hires can sell the goodwill, but sharing is not allowed. So in this special case, sharing is not allowed. Only transfer of goodwill, buying and selling of goodwill is allowed. What will the procedure? If a chartered accountant in practice wants to buy goodwill of any firm, he will have to send application to CA Institute that I want to buy goodwill of the firm. Okay, along with application, he need to attach some document. What document he needs to attach? He needs to attach a death certificate. It is a proof that the concerned CA proprietor or all the partners have died. They need to attach a proof of succession certificate or will or legal heir certificate, affidavit sworn by legal heir, which proves who are rightful legal heirs of this particular goodwill, of this particular practice. Then a draft sale deed with all terms and conditions, that who is going to buy the goodwill, who is transferring goodwill, what are the terms, how much is the price, and how it will be paid. But it should be a draft deed. It should not be the final. It can be finalized only when CA Institute approves it. Clear payment terms should be there. No objection certificate from the legal hire, and newspaper advertisement. If copy of newspaper advertisement which was put in the local papers, and the proof that it was submitted to the regional council, regional office, and whether anyone objected to the advertisement. If no one, so all this information need to be sent. CA Institute will verify the documents and they will approve it. Once it is approved, get the sale deed signed, and within 30 days fill up form 18. Form 18 is to register a firm in your name and register the firm in your name. Time limit we have discussed, within 1 year. See, we are not interested now death which has occurred before 1998. So it is 1 year from the death. CA Institute will keep the name in abeyance. It will keep the name in abeyance. Okay. Will keep the name in abeyance. Or in case there is a dispute, within the legal hires with respect to who is the real owner, real beneficiary of the practice, they will inform the institute that, see, right now dispute is going on. Once they will inform you once dispute is over, and CA Institute will give 1 year from the date dispute is over. So dispute is a very good reason if you want more time, but you need to inform institute. Abeyance means on hold. They will not give the firm name to anyone, because it is reserved for family members, legal heirs to decide to whom to sell the practice. Now guys, let's go to clause number 3, accepting share of the fees. So if we can share our work and fees with others on the same lines, others can also share their work with us and fees with us, from whom we can accept share of the fees. Okay, so now on same lines, we can accept share of the fees. We can accept any part of the fees of others in the form of share, brokerage, or commission. We can do that. It can be from 3 type of members. Members of ICI, similar list. Members of ICI, in fact same list. Members of ICI, members of prescribed body. We have 2 types of professional bodies: Indian professional bodies and foreign professional bodies, given in regulation 53A1 and 2. Yes, same list, copy paste. And then members having qualification, again regulation 53A, list number 3, clause 3. So we can accept fees from similar 3 types of members. Sir, but in clause number 2, there was sharing with partners. Why it is not there? Because it is not required, it is understood. Clause number 2 says we can pay share to partners. We can pay share to partners. Correct? We can pay share to partners. That means partner can accept it. No need to repeat it again. And it's not logical that you are taking money from retired person. So the point of partner is not giving. The point of taking money from retired partner is not logical, so it is left out. Taking money from legal heir is not, legal heir of deceased partner is not logical, it is left out. So 3 partner related points are left out because first point is not required, it is understood, and other 2 points are not relevant. And regulation 53A, same as explained in clause number 2, the 3 lists are there: Indian professional bodies, foreign professional bodies, and members having qualification. Referral fees. What is referral fees? Whenever any person, whenever you send your client or your known people to others, you get money for referral. Yeah, that's what happens. That happens in doctors community. That happens in many professions. So you are referring a client to another chartered accountant. Yeah, this happens. Suppose you are not expert in a field, so you refer your client to another CA. So that CA may offer you 10%, 20% of the fees. Can you take it? Yes. Paying share of the fees and accepting share of the fees is allowed in clause 2 and 3. So you can definitely accept referral fees from other professionals. From these 3 types of members, it is allowed. You can accept referral fees, you can pay referral fees. Like CA in practice and lawyer paying 12% each other. They are referring clients to each other and paying 12%. If I refer you, you pay me 12%. If you refer me, I pay you 12%. It is absolutely allowed. Then accepting share of fees from chemical engineer. Yes, engineer is in one of the list. We can accept work and fees from engineer, no problem at all. Then interesting, from travel agent, broker, accepting money from, so you got up with you very good idea that you maintain all the visiting cards. Client says that he planning to visit some place. Oh, take the travel agent card. You want to invest money, you want to invest in share market, take broker's card. You are not feeling well, let's go to doctor's card, and he calls everyone, give me 10%. That is not allowed. You cannot take money from travel agents, brokers, and doctors. They are not included in the list. They are not in the list. You cannot take it from them, guys. So it's not possible. So it should not be tick, it should be cross. It is not possible, it is not allowed. We have clause number 4, partnership. Very, very interesting. With whom we can do partnership? Now, institute is so much concerned, so much bothered about it, okay, that with whom you can pay share of the fees, accept share of the fees. They are also bothered with whom you can do partnership. Partnership is a very sensitive topic. One partner is liable for other partners act. So institute says that you should enter into partnership with sensible people. Now guys, I have made a simplified chart. The chart is already there. I keep improvising, keep making things better and better as I teach. So I made a separate chart for it. And on the same lines, it is on the same lines. We can do partnership with 3 types of members. 3 types of members. We can do it with member of ICAI. Member of ICAI. But then there is one change, a very big change, an important change. That member of ICAI should be a practicing chartered accountant. He should be in practice. Very important change. So just like we had 3 members, we can pay share of the fees, we can accept share of the fees. On the same lives, we have 3 members where we can do partnership. But change number 1, that other person should be in practice. That should be in practice. And we can do partnership with members of professional bodies. Again, 2 types of professional bodies. Indian professional bodies and foreign professional bodies. But now again a change. So there is one change. Simple change. Again a change. List of professional bodies is not given in 53A. They made a separate regulation to give list of professional bodies in case of clause 4 partnership. So they made a separate regulation just to tell list of professional bodies, because they have a plan that going ahead they want to make separate rules and regulations for those in partnership. So they made a separate regulation. So we have regulation 53B clause 1, 53B clause 2. Clause 1 is for Indian professional bodies, and to our good fortune, list is same, only one addition. So Indian professional bodies, if everything same, again we have those five common: member of CS Institute, CW Institute, member of Indian Institute of Actuary, member of Indian Institute of Architect, Bar Council of India, plus there is one addition, Indian Institute of Engineering. We can do partnership with people, those who are member of Indian Institute of Engineering. Then when it comes to foreign body, again it is same. We can do partnership with foreign professionals with whom we have MOU and MRA. Yes, we can do partnership with them. Further, there is one more addition you can say, or clarification you can say. Suppose non-residents, foreign professionals, non-residents, foreign professionals, okay, these guys, they come to India under MOU, MRA, they give papers of corporate laws and taxation. They have to appear for tax and law papers majorly, and they become member of the CA Institute. Can we do partnership with them? Of course, yes. Of course, yes. If under MOU, MRA, they become member of the CA Institute, for sure, we can do partnership with them. Now, this partnership clause is applicable irrespective of whether this partnership is done in India or outside India. See, CA Act, applicability of CA Act will be same. Whether you are in India or outside India, it doesn't matter. And partnership you can do with three. So there is one change when we talk about member of ICI. One change again when we talk about member of professional bodies. Now there is no change. Member having qualification, list is same as it is. Regulation 53A clause 3, same list. We have 7 qualifications, 5 common one. Then we have engineers and after engineers. After engineer, we have MBA. So we can do partnership with MBAs also. Yes, guys, we can do partnership with them also. Now, guys, this is the chart. I made a simplified version, but let's just quickly go through that. As discussed, we can do partner with CA in practice, that is member of ICI in practice. We saw that. Then we can do with members of professional bodies. 2 type of professional body, Indian and foreign, and there is a separate regulation for it, 53B, clause 1 and clause 2. Then we saw members having specified qualification. The list remains same, which we have seen earlier, regulation 53A.3. And then there's a clarification. Foreign resident who became member of ICI under section 4 subsection 1 clause 5, that is foreign route. This foreign route which was approved under section 29 MOU MRAs, so that foreign professional can become member of ICI and vice versa. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. We can do membership, we can do partnership with them. They are member of ICI, definitely we can do. Now list of 53B clause 1. 53B clause 1, it remains same. So these guys, these 5 are common. Member of CS Institute, member of CW Institute, member of Bar Council, member of Indian Actuaries, Indian Institute of Actuaries, member of Indian Institute of Architects, and then member of Indian Institute of Engineers. And then they are saying engineer from any established university. Engineer is already covered. Engineer is already covered in list of qualifications, so no need to specify again, but they have specified. It is a repetition. Correct? So sometimes drafting is not very crisp as it should be. There are repetition also, unnecessary repetitions. Then 53B, for when we talk of professional bodies, foreign professional bodies, we can do partnership with foreign professional bodies if they are if we are having MOU MRA under section 29 with them. We can definitely do that. We have seen this also. And then people having qualification, list remains same. CA, LLB, Actuary, Architect, Bachelor of Architecture, then BE, BTech, MBA. Then keep changing. See, keep changing. There are small changes which we are doing. So keep changing that. MOU, MRA. If certain foreign professionals, they come to India, fulfill the requirement, become member, we can definitely do partnership with them. It is being repeated. It is because the similar kind of repetition is in module also. Partnership with foreign professionals in India or outside India. See, I have written a simplified view. We can do that only if it is covered, only if these foreign professionals are covered in MOU, MRA. Foreign professional covered in MOU, MRA, that is important. Coverage in MOU, MRA is important. Then next is MDP, multidisciplinary partnership. So if you see that partnership is allowed with CAs, CSs, CS, CWAs, MBAs, engineers, architect, everyone. Now the vision is that client comes to one firm and all the whatever services he wants can be given under one roof. All professionals coming together and client is given the best thing. That is multidisciplinary partnership. But then just like dual COP, multidisciplinary partnerships will become successful, will become practical basically if it is allowed by CA Institute and allowed by CSC, the other institute. Both need to allow it. Okay. And next step is both need to issue guidelines on how to do it in the practical world. Both need to clarify how to do it in the practical world. Correct? Now what has happened? What is the recent change? What is the recent change? In July 2021, CA Institute issued guidelines on MDP. That's a very welcome step. But then CS Institute, CW Institute, these guys have not issued any guidelines. In fact, they've issued advisory to company secretaries and CWs that stay away from MDPs right now till the time we don't clarify anything, till the time we don't issue any guidelines. So the reality is, fact is, practically MDP is not possible because other institutes are not responding properly. MDPs are not yet the reality. So a Board of Studies ICI has not included MDP guidelines in our course as on today. They have not covered it. See, ICI issued guidelines in July 2021. You can pause the video and write this note. But other bodies are yet to allow it. They have not yet allowed it. So practically it is not possible to form MDP. ICI guidelines not in course right now. MDP guidelines are not there. As it's not practical, guidelines are no use. Then we talk about number of partners. Then if we talk about number of partners, now what are maximum number of partners in a partnership firm? It is not given in Partnership Act. It is given in Companies Act, Section 464. And as per Section 464, maximum number of partners allowed as on today is 50. 50. Okay. Government has prescribed that 50. But then they have said that if a partnership firm is governed by a special act, this limit will not be applicable. And CA firm is governed by special act. CA firm is governed by special act. Okay. So the limit on number of partners, is not there. We can have any number of partners. And guys, if you want to grow big in life, learn to share. You may earn very small part of the whole thing, but if a cake is big in absolute terms, that will be much bigger and a much bigger level of satisfaction, much bigger level of peace of mind. So keep sharing. You should share. You should make many partners. So here you can have any number of partners. No problem with that. See guys, I've been telling this again and again. So we are going to study clause number 11. Clause number 11 says that CA in practice should do only practice related work. You should not do any other work. That is prohibited. He cannot do that. If he does that, it's a guilty, or he will be guilty of professional misconduct. He'll be guilty of professional misconduct. Now guys, in clause number 11, if a person wants to do anything else, he can go to institute and take permission. So there was a case where he went to the institute and explained how why he will have to do some other business for survival, etc. He took the permission that please allow me to do my textile business. So institute allowed it, and institute allowed it, and then there was a question. Institute allowed him to go to textile business. To enter into textile business, he will have to do partnership with his uncle. Can he do that? So ICA said, once we allow you to go and do another business, automatically we are allowing you to grow in that business. We are allowing you to enter into partnership for that business. No separate approval will be required in clause 4. No separate approval will be required in clause 4. It will not be required. Are you getting this point? So if if you get permission under clause number 11, automatically for a business, then for that business you automatically get permission for partnership also. A very rare case. See, so we have this case 662.010. Mr. A is so what's the case? So CA in practice has made agreement with advocate, and they are sharing fees with each other. They're sharing fees, they're referring to each other and sharing fees with each other. Is it allowed? Definitely allowed. But keep in mind, you have to refer two clauses. You are paying share of the fees, clause number 2 is attracted. You are accepting share of the fees, clause number 3 is attracted. Mention both the clauses, what both the clauses say, then discuss the case and give conclusion is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. You can do that. See, partnership is not yet functional right now. Partnership is allowed. You should write that partnership is allowed, but MDP is not fully functional right now because of practical problems, practical challenges. But sharing is absolutely fine. Sharing is allowed. Now, very interesting, and that is about partnership. This question is covering two things: partnership and clause 7. We already seen section 7 for designation. We have clause number 7, which again talks about designation. We'll see it later. Don't worry. So here it is about partnership with certified public accountant in New York. See, CPA of US, it is not covered in the list. CPA of US, it is not covered in the list. So we cannot do partnership with them. Whether it's in India or outside, it doesn't matter. See, there was an opinion few years back that CA Act is not applicable outside India. It is applicable to Indian territory, not allowed outside India. So whatever people do outside India, it's absolutely fine. CA Act is not applicable. But then that opinion has faded. Institute Board of Studies has not used that opinion recently, because in clause it is clearly written that it is applicable to partnerships whether in India or outside India, to all the partnerships. And then chartered account is bound by CA Act whether he is doing work in India or outside India. So it is applicable for this partnership requirement is applicable to all the chartered account whether in India or outside India. Requirement is absolutely same. Doesn't matter if you go outside India. Then can we do partnership with chartered accountant, with the chartered accountant, a person who is a chartered accountant from Institute of Chartered Account of England and Wales? Can we do partnership with him? Okay. So now come to answer here. Listen guys, in 1990s there was a concept of direct membership, that a chartered accountant of Institute of England and Wales, they can simply come to India and can become member. Come to India and directly become member without any appearing for exam, etc. So you could have done partnership with them. You could have done partnership with them that time. Then they changed the requirement, and that direct membership route was stopped. So they cannot become member. We cannot do partnership with them. But recently, after MOU MRA, it is again allowed. Now again, you need to write. Now again allowed under MOU MRA. When it comes to chartered accountant from Institute of England and Wales, because we have signed MOU MRA with them, so partnership with them is allowed. We can directly do partnership with them, or they can become member of the CA Institute, and again we can do partnership with them. In both the cases, both the scenario. And in question they ask one more thing: will any of the opinions change if partnerships are outside India? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have any impact. So make these changes. These are important. It's an old question. It is old question. November 11 RTP, May 17 practice manual. New course November 18 mock. This second part was asked. Now we know this under section 7. We are going to study in class 7. We'll see that time. You cannot put designation tax consultant or cost accountant. You have to write designation chartered accountant. That's it. No other thing is allowed. Cut it. The alternative view is given. We are not interested in the alternative view right now. Simply cut that portion. Partnership with advocate, it's very much possible. You should write that yes, as per clause 4, there's a complete list, it is allowed, but you should also write about MDP. That is not practical. So you should write everything is allowed. You write everything is allowed, everything is fine. Also, explain about MDP problem. Also explain about MDP, that under because other institute are not responding, it is not yet functional. As per law, it is allowed. It is not a misconduct. As per law, it is allowed. It is not a misconduct, but it's not functional because other institutes are yet to issue guidelines. Partnership with non-CA, that is not allowed. Partnership with non-CA is not allowed. That's a contravention. That's a misconduct under clause 4. Okay, they're simply saying non-CS, they're not specifying who exactly. We don't know if there are other professionals. So it's not allowed. Okay guys, just let's again have an overview of regulation 53A and 53B so that there is absolute clarity. Okay, we have seen clause 2, paying share of the fees, clause 3 accepting share of the fees, clause 4 is partnership, and clause 5 is securing work, how you can secure work. We are going to study that clause. Okay, so let me tell you what they have done. So they specify members of professional bodies, Indian professional bodies, and then foreign professional bodies, and they give members having qualifications. So they give 3 lists basically. So there is regulation 53A, it's very popular, and it gives list for all the clauses right from 2, 3, 4, 5, except that when it comes to members of professional bodies, only when it comes to members of professional bodies of clause 4, only for that regulation 53B is made. Are you getting this point? So only for one thing they made a separate regulation. As on today, there is no big difference between that. But they made this because they want to make, in future when they make rules and regulations, that time it will be useful. So it's a future planning. It is not having big relevance of having a separate regulation as on today. Okay. Now, clause number 5. Securing work. Who can go and meet prospective clients and give them information so that they become actual clients? Who can go and bring work? Who can go to market? Who can go to prospective clients? Who can go for networking sessions and bring work for the firm? Okay, who can do this? Who can secure work? So obviously clause number 5 says that It can be done by partners. Of course, it's partners' responsibility to bring clients, isn't it? So partners can go on behalf of the firm, meet people, meet corporates, go into networking sessions, and then bring work for the firm. Apart from that, they say that even employee can do it. I have seen in PricewaterhouseCoopers, our associate director, he was not a partner, but then he was associate director, just one level below partner, and he used to go to a lot of companies to give presentation about the quality of audit services being provided by PwC, and he used to bring work for the firm. So partner can go and employees can go. But then importantly, what they say that you cannot have no freelancing agents. You cannot have agents in different cities or different regions or different industries. You go and bring work for me. You go and bring work for me. Okay, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Appointing agents is not allowed. So be careful. So clause 5 makes you understand who can go on behalf of the firm to bring work, and then how. What kind of means? They should not use unethical means. They cannot use bribery, coercion, blackmailing. That is not allowed. And apart from that, we have studied clause 2, 3 and 4 that people can refer work to each other. Professionals, CS, CWS, advocates, architects, actuaries, MBAs, engineers, they can refer works to each other. That is absolutely fine. That will continue. No problem with that. So if they refer work to you, that's all okay. No problem at all. So clause 5 talks about 3 things. Who can bring work? Whoever person goes, he should be associated as a partner or an employee. He should belong to firm and not freelancing agents. Then what kind of means? Ethical means. And definitely the concept of referring work to each other can continue. Clause 5 is not prohibiting that. Is not at all prohibiting that. Okay. So these are the cases. Can we appoint agents on commission basis? Answer is no. Can we use coercion? No. Can we use bribe? No. Can we use blackmailing? Of course not. Then, can hacking be used? No. You cannot go for hacking. Then, there is a interesting, very interesting. So, case is that a chartered accountant took loan from multiple banks. Say he took 5 lakh loans from 5 banks, that is 25 lakhs, and he didn't repay. When bankers, they came to chartered accountant, pay us back our loan, repay our loan, he said that I don't have money, but I'm ready to work for you. Get work done from me. So just like you go to restaurant, and if you eat food, if you're not able to pay, you're supposed to do the work and wash dishes. So he said that I don't have money, so get work done from me. I can do anything. I can do taxation, accounting, advisory, auditing, verification, anything for you guys. So that was a very creative, very unique way of getting work for himself. Okay. So even that is not allowed. That was considered as unethical. Very interesting, but unethical. Now look at this number of questions asked. From this you can easily make out that this is extremely important clause, clause number 6. Extremely important, guys. And it says that chartered accountants are not allowed to solicit, ask for the work directly, indirectly. You cannot go and ask for the work directly, indirectly with the help of interviews. You cannot go to interview. You cannot go to interview, talk a lot of things and then try to impress everyone and try to say that, oh, come to me, I will give you advisory, I will do accounting for you, I will give finance for you, I will do tax for you, this, that for you, I will give business consultancy to you. You cannot do these things. You cannot use interview to solicit work. You cannot use advertisement. You cannot put hoardings. You cannot put TV ads, commercials, newspaper ads, radio jingles. Come to us. We are the best chartered accountant firm in the city. Come to us. You cannot do that. That's not allowed. Okay. Then you cannot call. You cannot make calls. Oh, I'm a new chartered accountant. Please give me work. I'm a new chartered accountant. Please give me work. You cannot do that. Personal communications are not allowed. Circulars. You cannot print pamphlets and put it in the newspaper or circulate them or keep distributing them on traffic signals, that is not allowed, and any other means. Correct. So see, it's in a proper sequence again. So interview is little respectable. Then below that we have advertisement. Then below that it's personal communication. Then below that pamphlets, and then below that any other means. So 5 means are prohibited. So you can say that advertisement and related activities are prohibited. So in totality, 5 things are prohibited. You cannot solicit work. And the reason being that chartered accountant should get work with his reputation, with his skills, knowledge, reputation, his good work, word of mouth publicity, and not to these means. And I think that's good for the profession. If they would have allowed it, a lot of the chartered accountants would have spent crores and crores of rupees in totality. Overall community would have spent crores of money in advertisement that would have reduced the profitability. That's one thing. And secondly, in the process, they may tarnish each other. That will bring bad name to the profession. And then thirdly, if you're putting a lot of advertisement, people will start believing how these guys will give honest report. They're begging so much for the work. How will they give an honest report? So okay. Looking at all these things, they banned advertisement related things. Get work through mouth publicity. That's it. Now, what is allowed? As an exception, you can go to other CAs in practice. Yes, if you want to develop your practice, if you want to grow in practice, you should have godfathers. Senior chartered accountants, those who have worked a lot, have a very good practice. They work in big assignments where things, must be in couple of lakhs always, or crores maybe, and they may not be happy to do small assignments and projects. So be in touch with them, connect with them, be in their good books, and ask for work from them. They may give work to you. So yes, you can definitely go to other CA in practices, senior chartered accountants, and ask for work. That is absolutely fine. That is allowed. So you can go and ask for work. You can do personal communication to them. Correct? That is absolutely fine. And then if there are tenders, see, there is a website PDICAI, Professional Development ICAI, and you will find a lot of tenders for CA related work. Yes. So central government, state government, the departments, corporates, PSUs, banks, they come up with a lot of tenders, advertisements, circulars, where they're asking chartered accountants to come and apply for the work. Okay. So if they are saying that apply for the work, are we fools not to apply? It is allowed. So responding to tenders, advertisements and circulars is absolutely fine. Then suppose, but then you have to keep in mind one condition, which we are going to see later also. One condition in mind. If the work is exclusive for chartered accountants, like company audit can be done only by chartered accountants, tax audit can be done only by chartered accountants, some certifications can only be done by chartered accountants. If it is an exclusive CA area, if it is a CA area, mind you, if it is a CA area, then in that case, minimum fees should be specified, then only we can apply. There should be minimum fees. CA Institute says that when only chartered accountants can apply, chartered accountants should not fight with each other and go below cost. So you should apply only when minimum fees is specified. By bringing this particular rule, everyone, all the industry people, society people, they will always come up with the minimum fees, and that is a very good practice to avoid working below cost. It is good for the profession. If area is not exclusively for only chartered account, other professionals can also apply, like CWS can apply for internal audit, for GST audit. Now GST audit is no longer there, but they could have applied. If there are such areas like computerization of the manual records, computerization of land records, if such areas are there, then in that case, apply for the tender irrespective of whether minimum fees is given or not. Otherwise, you will wait for the minimum fees and someone will take away the work. So for exclusive areas, they say that minimum fees is required. Areas which are open for other professionals, so they say that okay, apply for the tender irrespective of whether minimum fees is specified or not. So there are two exceptions. Number one exception is is you can go to other CA in practice, and number 2 exception is responding to tender. Now, see, as I said again, professional ethics is not about word by word interpretation. It's a very old law, not frequently amended. There are not enough explanation and rules. There are not a lot of case laws are there. So it has its own challenges. It's fully based on clarifications issued by the institute from time to time. Sometimes they go beyond what clause says. Yes, that happens. Okay. So just focus on what clarifications say. If you focus on what clarifications say, correct, it will be all fine. You will be able to understand, retain and solve cases comfortably. You may think about other situations also. Frankly speaking, that is not required. Whatever is specified is from module, and they are going to ask questions on this. They are not going to be highly creative and manufacture a situation and ask a case. Let me tell you why. See how paper is drafted. They catch hold of a paragraph that this is going to be the answer, and then they draft the question, because they also don't want to take risk with any of the interpretation, correct, and they also don't want to take chances. When they take answer from module as it is or material as it is, then there is less risk that they're doing something wrong or they're going against anything. No one can take objection because that is the part of the course. So just focus on these clarifications and that will be all fine. You may think about a lot of different situations. Like you may think about, what about WhatsApp? Can we do this on WhatsApp? We can put stories. What can we do on LinkedIn? What can we do on Instagram? So social media, what can we do on Google? A lot of questions will be there. But to be very honest, institute is silent on many of these because they also don't have answer. They are silent about it. So there's very low probability that questions will be asked on these areas where there are no clarifications. And if they ask by chance, where the probability is 0.01 maybe, 0.01 percentage probability, then in that case, you have to answer as per the knowledge obtained from these clarifications. Now we have made a wonderful mnemonic because there are 16 clarifications. 16 clarification, mind you, question can come on each and every clarification. In fact, there are 17 clarification. Okay, there are 2 B's. 17 clarifications from clause 6, and as it is, they will target one or the other clarification. Let's see. Ask fund for responding to tenders, advertisement and circulars. We already know this. So, can chartered accountant can respond to tenders, advertisements, circulars? Answer is absolutely yes, they can do it. Of course, they can definitely do it. They can apply for it. Okay. But then there are conditions. If areas condition, if the areas are exclusively reserved for chartered accountants, like audits and attestation services or some certification, then they can apply only when minimum fee is specified in the tender, and minimum fee should be sensible. It should be based on nature of the work, the kind of complexity, number of hours involved, number of people involved. Take into consideration all these things, minimum fees should be mentioned. Okay. Now, what if the area is something which is not reserved exclusively for chartered accountants? Anyone come and apply. Any graduate, MBA, CS, CWA can apply. Then in that case, if others can apply, don't wait for minimum fees. You can simply go and apply for it. So when it comes to tender, first they clarify with respect to minimum fees. Then they clarify with respect to deposits. Can now with respect to deposits, can tenders ask for the deposit money? Definitely. CA Institute says that if corporates or anyone is asking for deposits, earnest money deposit. Now why people ask for deposits? So that people who are not serious, they don't apply for the tender. So that is a practice. So Institute says that we don't want to interfere with the practice of earnest money deposit, security deposit. So this practice can continue. Institute says that it's okay if people are asking for deposits. But if you think that they're asking for exorbitant deposits, huge deposits, big deposits, then that is going to create problem for chartered accountants. They fill up so many tenders all the time. They will need crores, 1 crore rupee as a working capital just to deposit, to give security deposits. So they say that, okay, that if it is exorbitant, you can go and complain to ethical and board, and on case to case basis, it will see if it is exorbitant and they may take action. They may go and inform people that you cannot do that. They may send advisory to the chartered accountants not to accept such assignment and so on. Then once you apply for, if you're planning to apply for tender, do remember to prepare and maintain and preserve cost sheet. See, sometimes chartered accountants, they don't do proper calculation, simply they go and apply. That should not be the case. You should make a proper cost sheet that these number of people will be required, these will be their qualification, that will be their remuneration, so many hours of work will be there, what will be the what will be the employee cost, what will be the material cost, etc. Take into consideration traveling, lodging, food, wood, everything, and then you should quote a price for any tender. And CA Institute can ask for the cost sheet anytime they want. So CA Institute want people to be sensible when they apply for tender. Let's not just quote anything and get the work at any cost. That is not advisable. Okay. So R is for responding, E is for empanelment. What do you mean by panel? Panel is simply list of chartered accountants, list of professionals. It is maintained by codes, then below that government entities, then banks, cooperative societies. A lot of these guys, they maintain panel of chartered accountants so that they can easily appoint them whenever required for audit, some accounts work, finance work, or any other work. So they maintain panel. Okay, fine. It's okay to maintain the panel. Who can apply for empanelment? Who can apply for empanelment? Any chartered CA in practice, if he has a prior knowledge of the panel from any advertisement, from any reliable source, from anywhere, if he is having prior knowledge of the panel, he can apply for it and get himself enrolled in the panel. There should not be roving inquiries. So what do you mean by roving inquiries? See, what one chartered accountant did, he printed 10,000 letters and he posted to different authorities and said that if you are maintaining panel, then consider my application. Maintaining panel, consider my application. Maintaining panel, consider my application. No. That cannot be done. You cannot do that. That will cause harassment to a lot of people. Roving inquiry means going and asking for work without any knowledge, without any information, without any you are not aware about anything, and simply going and asking for work, talking to people even when they have not asked for it. Correct? So that is called roving inquiry. So roving inquiry saying roving application for empanelment is not allowed. So getting registered is absolutely fine, but no roving inquiries. Now then there was a question exam on quoting fees. Don't quote fees till the time they ask for it. Don't just make menu card. This is the service, this is the fees, this is the service, this is the fees. Don't just make menu card, print it in bulk and send it to everyone. No, that cannot be done. Don't send fees till the time they ask. And if they ask, send to them in writing whatever they have asked clearly. Don't send just printed menu card for the fees or pre-printed copies of fees for various work. That will not look professional at all. Don't quote on your own. Correct? No menu card for fees. You are getting it? Just don't print a lot of pamphlets of fees and keep sending it to everyone. Then registrar, G is for greeting cards and invitations. Greeting cards and invitations. So first they said that you cannot put designation or firm name, anything. You cannot put designation, anything on the greeting card and invitation. They said no. Then they said that, okay, we are allowing you to put chartered name, designation chartered accountant and firm name. Designation chartered accountant and firm name. You can put it. You can put it on the greeting card and invitation. But then there are conditions. Condition number 1, these greeting cards and invitations should be sent only to relatives, friends and clients. So close ones are relatives, then friends, then clients, only to them. And the purpose can be greeting card. Okay, if you're sending greeting card, that's fine. Send it to limited number of people. You can put it on the greeting card. It can be occasions, it can be or any greeting card. That's fine. And then in limited number of invitation for religious ceremony. Invitation then, so religious ceremony is extremely important. Then below that, marriages. If invitation for marriage, invitation for opening office, invitation for change in the office address, going to new office or telephone number, something like that. Okay, so but then only 4 invitations are allowed. Marriage of the concerned member, not others. If he's getting married, you can put all the details. If it's your marriage, if your brother's marriage, your cousin's marriage, or someone else's marriage, your daughter's marriage, son's marriage, you cannot put that. So, very interesting. Now, there's a very interesting case in our question bank, Sonu and Monu case. So, it's like Sonu is organizing a religious ceremony and they're inviting everyone. So, they're sending invitations to relatives, friends and clients of Sonu and Monu, both the partners, to these guys for that ceremony. Will that be all right? Initially, I thought, yes, they're sending relative, friends and clients. But then CA Institute said, it is Sonu's religious ceremony. Only his relatives, his friends and his clients should get the invitation. Why Monu's relatives, why Monu's friends, why Monu's clients are getting invited? That is incorrect. So it is a very member specific thing. Greeting card by member, invitation of member should contain these details. Correct. See, in these 17 clarifications, in some clarifications you will find that they are not allowing firm name. Firm name is brand name for them. Firm name is a brand. So they are not allowing firm name. They don't want CS to get into advertisements and branding activity. In some of them, clearly specify firm name not allowed. There are only few, hardly 4 out of 7. There are only 4 instances where firm name is allowed, and other places it is silent. So whenever things are silent, no questions are expected there. And if they ask, we have to apply our common sense and answer it. If they ask, which is a very rare possibility. Okay. So now this is one of them. That writing firm name is allowed in greeting card and invitations. Then registrar, I for introduction to client of another CA. Now that's very interesting. Suppose we have a chartered accountant. We have Ramesh and Suresh. So Ramesh is doing audit of an education institution. School and other education institutions, he is doing audit. So one day he takes Suresh along with him to go and meet the client. So they are on the way and says, let's come and let's meet together. So they go and meet the client. So Ramesh is helping. Ramesh has taken Suresh to go and meet the client. He is the one introducing Suresh to the client. Okay. Now they come back again. They come back. Go to their offices. After a few days, school offers audit work which is right now being done by Ramesh to Suresh. The original work, because of which there is a client, CA and client relationship, that original work is offered to a new client, a new chartered accountant, Suresh. Can he accept it? Clarification says that if you are introduced to some client by another CA, and if that original work which resulted in client and CA relationship, that is offered to you, you should never accept that work. That will be so bad. It is like betraying your friend. Don't do that. And if any other work is offered apart from the original work, if any other work is offered, you should always tell that come through what Ramesh says. Come to the original the earlier chartered accountant, or keep him in loop that you are doing this. Either come through it, inform me, and he will come to me. Or if he is not listening, just keep him in loop. But it should not happen at his back. He should not get the impression that there was a conspiracy of not giving work to me. That should not be the case. And that's a really good thing. That if you If any chartered accountant is introducing one CA to another client, correct, that new chartered accountant should not go and try to capture the work of original CA. That's a very good thing they have done. S stand for sponsoring activity. CA in practice cannot sponsor any event. So first of all, they straight away say no. Then they say that if event is organized by program organizing unit of ICAI. Okay, so that means if it is a CA Institute's program, by CA Institute's program, correct? CA Institute's program, and then CA Institute program is there, and this program is having approval of CP Directorate of ICAI. CP is Continuing Professional Education. You must be aware, even after becoming chartered accountant, you still have to attend seminars. You still have to attend seminars, maybe watch some videos, get the CP credits. It is mandatory for it is mandatory to so that you continue your membership. That is a requirement. Continuing professional education. You must have seen your principal and other chartered accountant going to these seminars now and then, and maybe attending them on Zoom or so on. Correct? That is continuing professional education. Okay. So that can be sponsored. So they are basically saying that CP programs can be sponsored. CP programs can be sponsored by CA in practice. So it should be a program of CA Institute. It should be approved by CP Directorate. So it is a CP program that can be sponsored. If CSR activity, if CA is sponsoring a CSR activity, then he can write prefix CA. He can use CA logo, but no firm name. As I said, they don't like firm name being hammered again. They don't want They don't want to allow branding activity, and that is again correct, because big fours have loads of money. They are already brands even without marketing. If marketing is allowed, they will do so much of marketing and try to become a bigger and bigger brand. So no, they cannot use money power. Firm name is not allowed. Even if you go for sponsoring CSR activity, firm name is not allowed. As I said, in majority cases, they are going to say that firm name is not allowed. Then, and if it is silent, we have to apply the common sense. See, some firms, they work really well and they continue for long number of years. Silver Jubilee, Golden Jubilee, Platinum, Sanitary celebrations, and so on. That is 25 years, 50 years, 60 years, 75 years, 100 years. They continue for so many number of years. And on these occasions, there's a very special moment for any firm. Very special moment to reach these milestones. They keep celebrations. And they may put an advertisement inviting their old employees or some partners or clients or articles, everyone to join in for the celebration. Putting this advertisement is allowed. My goodness. Putting this advertisement is allowed. Can you imagine that? They are allowing this advertisement. Yes. Putting this advertisement is absolutely fine. That doesn't mean that you can put celebrating 75 years, 100 years on your visiting cards or letterheads or anywhere else. You can simply put a newspaper advertisement. Only newspaper advertisement is allowed. Newspaper advertisement or magazine advertisement, whatever, but that advertisement is allowed. But no other things can be done. You cannot breach other clauses. We are going to see other clauses. Like clause number 7, we are going to see. You cannot highlight professional attainments. You cannot boost for 75 years, 100 years and so on. You cannot boost that. That is not allowed. That will make unfair competition for new chartered accountants. Keeping that in mind, they have banned people from highlighting their professional attainments. Registrar, then T for teaching. We are going to study clause number 11. Clause number 11 basically tells that CA in practice. Clause number 11 says that CA in practice should do only CA related work. They cannot go for other business and occupation. And if then also you want to go for it, there is list. You want to go beyond the list, then if you want to go beyond that list, then you take permission. Okay. So here, if you want to teach, we are going to study that in clause number 11. If any CA wants to teach, there can be different types of teaching. Private tutorship, teaching under CA Institute, or teaching under some brand name, some organization, coaching classes. If you want to teach under any coaching classes, any brand name, then a specific permission is required. Specific permission need to be taken. Suppose that permission is taken, but still CA in practice cannot put advertisement of coaching teaching activity. They say that if you put advertisement of coaching teaching activity, indirectly you are soliciting client for your practice work. That's what happened in Delhi. One of the CA firms, we reputed CA firms, I would not take the name, they tried to gather publicity. How they tried to gather publicity? Okay, they started teaching activity and they started publicizing their teaching activity, and they started to boost their brand name. So keeping that in mind, it is said that CAs in practice cannot misuse, cannot put advertisement for teaching activity. In fact, if the academy is putting the ad, your name should not be there. It should not be, your association should not be there in the advertisement. Hoardings, banners, posters, etc. Quite harsh on those who are teaching, because it is quite harsh and quite outdated, and following this is not practical. It has been there for a few years now. I have not seen any action being taken against anyone. Okay. So what they have allowed, so this is not allowed. Putting your own ad is not allowed. Becoming part of the any other's ad is not allowed. What is allowed? You can put a name board. You can put a name board, okay, name board in front of the class premises. You can put name board in the front of the premises. It should be of normal size, like chartered accountants put for their CA firm. There should be name of the subject and contact details. You should not write name of the professor. That's the only. You should not write name of the professor. So that quite harsh, I feel, quite harsh. Now next is roving inquiries. We have already discussed this. It is on the same lines. If a chartered accountant in practice is not aware of existence of any panel or any advertisement or circular or any requirement, he cannot simply go and start asking people, do you need services? If you maintain panel, take my application, include my name in your panel. He cannot do that. It's like on Valentine's Day, a boy is standing in front of a mall and he's asking every girl, do you need a friend? I'm available. Do you need a friend? I'm available. So he's going to get some smart slaps, you know. So that's not a good thing. So that's what they said, that you cannot go for roving inquiries. Then A is for advertisements. See, as such, putting advertisements on newspapers, or going for circulars or personal canvassing, that means going door to door. These things are not allowed, guys. These things are strictly not allowed, but then there are exceptions. CA firm can put a newspaper advertisement if there is a change in the name of the partnership, change in the constitution, change in the address, change in the telephone number. But then it should be barely the fact that so and so changes have taken place. We would like to inform you. That's it. And that too, area of distribution of that newspaper should be the area in which they practice. It should be limited, and limited number of insertion. You cannot do that for 6 months. You keep on informing the same thing. You see, it should be reasonable. Okay. And then very important, you can put a classified ad in the journal The Chartered Accountant. CA Institute issues monthly journal The Chartered Accountant, a very important journal. Lot of important updates are there in that particular journal. So you can put a classified ad. If you have a lot of work, if CA in practice having a lot of work and he wants to share that work with people, he wants other CAs to come and work with him, yes, you can put a classified ad for sharing professional work. You can professional work. You can ask for partnerships. You can ask for you can offer partnership, that people can apply for partnership. You can offer employment. You can offer the work on assignment basis. Yes, that is possible, but then again, no firm name. No firm name. Till now, firm name is allowed only on greeting cards and invitations. Okay, no firm name is allowed. Only chartered accountant's name, CA's name can be there. Only CA's name can be there. His address, telephone number, email, social networking site. Yes, rarely clarifications of ICAI talk about social networking sites. So this is one of the few occasions they say that, okay, when you give details of chartered accountant, give his phone number, give his address, you can give social networking site handles also of that individual chartered accountant. And they can specify what kind of experience or expertise they are looking for. Yeah, that's very normal. They want chartered accountant with 2-3 years of experience, 4-year experience, as the case may be. Then next is representation by auditor. Representation. We all know that under Companies Act section 140 subsection 4, whenever a chartered accountant is replaced, he has right. He has right to send a representation letter to the company which will be circulated to all the shareholders. Correct? So he has that right. But then he is not supposed to misuse that right. He cannot go for he can go for representation, but then he should, in very dignified manner, he should express he worked independently, he worked carefully, conscientiously, carefully, and his willingness, is he willing to get reappointed? Only three things allowed. He worked independently, he worked carefully, and is he willing to get reappointed? Okay, no needless publicity, no needless publicity explaining your office, your team, your history. No, that is not allowed. In fact, boosting your work, I did so much. I worked for I have improved their internal control systems like anything. I worked on financing, I worked on this, I worked on that. You cannot boost your work also. There is a question in the question bank on this particular point, that he boosted his internal control work, and that was considered guilty of professional misconduct under clause number 6. So be extremely careful. Representation is allowed. Only limited things are allowed. No needless publicity, no boosting of work. Then, very interesting, books. CA in practice is such a knowledgeable person. Chartered accountant has read so many books. He can definitely write books. He can definitely write articles, presentation, absolutely fine. But, okay, and he can write them. He can put firm name. We got second one. He can put firm name. Yes, writing firm name is allowed, but not highlighting professional attainments. That is not allowed. He cannot say that highlighting professional attainments. See, that's why I said, now we are going to study that clause number 7 prohibits highlighting professional attainments. Clause number 7, we are yet to study clause number 7. It says that you cannot highlight professional attainments. But then they're talking about professional attainments in clarifications of clause number 6. So that's why I said you cannot go for literal interpretation in these clauses. Okay. If it is a clarification of clause 6, it will be answered as per clause 6, even though the word professional attainment is used, which is banned under clause 7. That's why I said literal interpretations are not going to work. You understand the pattern. You have to understand it is a clarification under clause 6. Clause 6 will be applicable. And what is the logic? What is the reason? This has been the pattern. This is how institute works. This is how board of studies work. This is how in past they have given the judgments. Okay. It may not sound logical at some instance. Yes. But then, as I said, so follow the pattern. Otherwise, you will, if you go run behind literal interpretations in professional ethics, life will become difficult. See, I have seen all these things. I've seen all these things. I've done enough research, and I'm giving you the final conclusion. Simply, if it's a clarification of clause 6, apply clause 6. Nothing else. So you cannot highlight professional attainments. You cannot say that I'm a rank holder chartered accountant. You cannot say that I'm a first attempt chartered accountant. You cannot say that I have so huge experience. This, that. Highlighting professional milestones is not allowed. Then this very interesting box numbers. When there were no mobile phones were there, even today there is a concept, but then it is not used that extensively. There's a concept of PO box number, post office box numbers. So post office box numbers are number, you can go to post office and get a post office box number. Okay, so that communication becomes in past, it was a very important medium. So you can get a post office box number. Simply put that post office box number and letters will reach you. Letters will reach you conveniently. So post office box numbers were very important to very important tools for very important numbers, with the help of which letter exchange used to happen seamlessly, carefully and fast. So what people used to do, they put a ad in newspaper that if you want so and so services, contact on so and so PO box number without putting name. Chartered accountants cannot give advertisement in a newspaper and say that if you want CA related services, then contact us on PO box number. So this is not allowed. B is one more. There are two B's. So there is one B for this. Box number based advertisement is not allowed. Okay. So we got the second one now. Education videos. Can chartered accountants in practice make education videos? Yes, of course. I see a lot of young chartered accountants making education videos on tax, on finance, on accounting, on fraud, on systems, and it's wonderful. A lot of them are making educational content. Educational video is very much allowed. You can make those videos absolutely fine, but no firm name, no address, no contact address of the. That's not allowed. Firm should not contain any contact address or website address. No firm name. It should not be used as a advertisement. Okay. So those things are not allowed. Firm profile definitely not allowed. So education videos should be purely for education. It should not be for the advertisement purpose. Then next is movie or television credits. What is that? See, CA firms are nowadays involved in making movies and web series. Yeah, definitely. They play important role. See, all these movies and web series, TV serials, they have budget. So chartered accountant and CA firms sit with them and they form the budget. And then once budget is formed, as per budget, they release the funds and then they do the accounting, make the statements and make people understand how much they have spent, how much they are going to need, etc. So they give this very good budgeting and accounting and financial analysis services to CAs for services to people who make movies, etc. So as they're part of the project, see, everyone who is making these things, their name comes in at the front of the movies or web series or after that, and credits are given to them. Their name comes. That is called giving credit. So if a CA firm works with them, can credit be given to them also? Of course, like credit is given to everyone else, credit should be given to them also. But then ensure that their name should not be bolder than others, something different from others, as if it leads to advertisement. That should not happen. So again, firm name is allowed. There is one more place firm name is allowed. So on greeting card it is allowed, on books it is allowed, on credits it is allowed. But then it should not be shown differently or bolder or different than others. Then next is prospective clients. See, chartered accountant in practice, they meet a lot of people who can become their clients in future. That's called prospective clients. Don't walk with resume and CV and biodata, and just don't keep distributing CVs to everyone. Just don't keep distributing CVs and biodata to everyone and give your details to everyone. That should not be done. Correct? If people ask you details, share details with them. So you should not voluntarily trouble others and just keep sharing all your details when they are not asking. Don't bombard people with unnecessary information which they have not asked for. Don't go and give your firm's profile. Only give details when they ask for it. You can definitely share your profile with existing clients if they need it. That can be done, so that their clients are more aware about their chartered accountants. Interviews. Whenever interview word comes, you have to apply clause 6, whether it is TV interview or radio interview or website interview or newspaper interview. Interviews are allowed, absolutely fine. Go for interviews on any public forum. You can name the firm again. Interviews, you can name the firm. You can see, if you see CNBC, you can see CA firms coming there and they are giving their names. Yes, Name of the firm is allowed, but then and you can answer the questions, you can give the factual nature questions, but again it should not result in publicity or highlighting professional attainments. In one of the case they said that CA in practice gave CV itself. Take my CV, gave CV itself, take my CV and read it. Now that is straight away advertisement. That is not allowed. You should not try to boost your professional attainments, highlight your professional attainments, should not lead into advertisements leading to solicitation of work. You can go to your professional colleagues. Of course, you can go to your professional colleagues. That is one of the exceptions we have seen. But then you should go and meet the person. You should make a phone call. You can put a SMS. You can put a WhatsApp. But you cannot go put an advertisement. Listen, city chartered accountants, I am the new chartered accountant, and if you want to give work, I am ready. I will do your work properly. So this should not be done. Okay. Okay. You can go for emails. Yeah. Emailing is also fine. Emailing is also considered as a personal communication. There's a case on this also. You can go for emailing, mass emailing also, but again, that is considered as personal communication. Just like you can put calls to 100 of chartered account, that is absolutely fine. But you cannot put a newspaper advertisement. You can put on a newspaper or magazine. That will not be allowed. Circulars, pamphlet distribution is not allowed. Congratulating for the new office ad. So cases, some of the cases for that, we are through with 17 clarifications, extremely important. So now, advertisement published in newspaper congratulating opening of new office. Opening of new office. See, this is not allowed. This is not covered in any of the clarification. You cannot put advertisement for opening new office. That is not allowed. That's guilty of professional misconduct. TV interview, handing over the biodata details, you read, even that is not allowed. Highlighting professional attainment, not allowed. Visiting card, vision, values, not allowed. Visiting card is covered under clause. A lot of things of visiting card we are going to study with clause number 7. Printing vision and values, trying to project that you are better than others. It has been said it is a professional misconduct under clause 6. No. Simple visiting card with the contact details. That's it. Bare minimum details that is allowed. We are going to study about this. One important thing. See, website guidelines in the earlier version of module used to be covered along with clause 6. So whenever questions were asked, what Board of Studies did, they always referred to clause 6 and then website guidelines whenever they answered any question on website. So you can say that there is very close association of clause 6 and website guidelines. Both used to be studied together till the earlier version of study material. So whenever you get question on website, refer clause 6, then mention about the website guidelines, discuss case, and then give conclusion. But now in the latest module, what they have done, they have taken website guidelines at the end along with the advertisement guidelines. That is the ultimate source from where it came. So we are going to cover website guidelines along with advertisement guidelines. So it will be done later. Now let's see clause number 7. See, again it's a very interesting clause. Now clause number 6 said that you should not solicit work. That's very important. You should not solicit work directly, indirectly through these means. And one of the important means is you cannot advertise. The clause 7 says that, first of all, CA in practice should not use any other designation. He should stick to chartered accountant only. No other designation is allowed. Okay. We have already studied this in section 7 in detail. We have covered everything. There is nothing new out here. So whenever you get question regarding designation, with respect to designation, apply section 7 as well as clause 7, and they both say the same thing. There is no change, no difference at all. So for branding purpose, for consistency, for easy, so that people should recognize the name, they have made it mandatory to use only one designation, chartered accountant in practice, and that's absolutely fine. That's perfect. Now, next thing is that they are saying once you're a chartered accountant, you are a professional, you are a brand, you are a good professional. Now, no need to further highlight your professional attainment. CA itself is a good attainment. Don't highlight your attainments, because in the process what you're doing, you're trying to undermine others. You're trying to say that you are a much better chartered accountant and others are not that good chartered accountant. So chartered accountants should not try to prove that they are better than all others. So they are not supposed to advertise their professional attainments. They cannot advertise that they're first time chartered accountants, they are rank holder chartered accountants, they are very experienced chartered accountants. Writing FCA is allowed, that much is fine. That is sophisticated, that looks good. But then saying that you have expertise in so and so work, giving nomenclature to your to your description like that, no, that is not allowed. You cannot highlight your professional attainments. You cannot do that, because in the process you're undermining everyone else, and if everyone starts doing it, they will put mud on each other. So that's not allowed. Don't advertise professional attainments. Just like we had exception in clause number 6, that you can go to CA in practice and you can go and apply for tender. There's the exception out here also, and this exception is write-up. Write-up is a written piece of information, written document, with the help of which you can advertise. We are going to study about write-up again in the advertisement guidelines. So just like in clause number 6, there is one big thing, that is website. We are going to study that along with advertisement guidelines. In clause number 7 also there is a thing called write-up. We are going to study about this in advertisement guidelines later. Now let's see the clarification. Friend slaps Dr. Nene is the shortcut. F stand for firm name. So before going to firm name, chartered accountants, whether in practice or not, they can use prefix anywhere they want. Wherever they write their name, they can put prefix CA anywhere. Definitely on visiting card, letterheads, professional stationery, or on a pen, on a keychain, on a bag, on your diary, everywhere. But when it comes to use of the firm name along with designation chartered accountant, now this designation chartered accountant is important. It should be respected. You can put firm name and designation chartered accountant, visiting card, letterheads, signboards, which are there in front of your office. You can do that, or wherever firm name is allowed, but you cannot put it anywhere else. You cannot put it on the keychains, or pens, or diaries, bags. That is not allowed. So firm name and designation chartered accountant should be respected. Then, as is for size of signboard, CA in practice should carefully decide what should be the size of the signboard, which will be put in front of his office. It should be big enough so that people can read it easily, conveniently. There is no problem with visibility. And again, there should be sufficient lights. Illumination, so that people can read it comfortably. So CA in practice need to decide that how big should be the board. and he should apply his discretion. It should be of good taste. It should not be very big. It should not be unusual. It should not be unprofessional. So they are saying you cannot use glow sign boards. You cannot put neon size glow sign boards like neon sign boards, neon sign. It is written in big red, green, blue, and it's blinking on, off, just like pubs maybe, or some restaurant, fancy restaurant. You cannot put glow sign boards. You cannot put extraordinary large board. You cannot just put a board on the complete building. You cannot do that just like traders or shopkeepers do. You have to be sophisticated, guys. In the process, they're saving a lot of money of chartered accountants. A lot of money of chartered accountants, as no one is allowed to do it. So everyone saves money. So please don't do it. So it comes to size of the board, it should be reasonable. It should be of good taste, not unusual. When it comes to putting board on the residence, if you see about chartered accountants residence, then it's simple. At residence, you should put name board with designation chartered accountant. Yes, put CA Ravi Taori, designation chartered accountant, but you cannot put firm name. Firm name cannot be there. Okay. At residence, firm names board should not be there. It is not allowed. For logo, see, way back in 99, before 2005, Institute allowed logos, but then it was not going good. People were misusing it. People were trying to do publicity with the help of logos. So they ultimately banned all the logos. As on today, CA firms cannot have their own logo of any kind on any form of document, material. No logos are allowed. You cannot put on documents or on the walls or glass or dress of employees. You cannot put logos, not allowed. You cannot have monograms. Monogram means writing the name in stylish way, in stylish fonts. Again, to look like logo, that is not allowed. Printing member firm name in any manner tantamounting logo or monogram is not allowed again. So no individual logos are allowed, no monograms are allowed, no fancy printing is allowed. What is allowed is common CA logo. Only common CA logo is allowed. All members can use this logo whether in practice or not. Very simple logo. We are going to study more about it again in the guidelines later. So there is a rounded rectangle. Rounded rectangle is there. Black color rectangle. Then there is a white background. In blue, CA is written. And then you have upside down tick in green color. So they say that there is a rounded rectangle so that logo should be distinguished from any other text which is around it. White background is good because everything on white background, correct, everything appears beautifully, properly. So they use white background. Blue color stands, they say, for corporate. It is corporate. It is creativity, knowledge, integrity. Green color, it's for growth, prosperity, harmony. And then upside down tick is extremely important. So normal people, they put a normal tick mark, but the upside down tick shows that this thing is checked by a very knowledgeable person with knowledge, wisdom, and is a trustworthy. He is putting this mark. So you can say this mark is exclusively this mark is generally used by chartered accountants in practice. It is a mark of trust, wisdom, value of the profession. So you should know this. Maybe in the theory they ask what is the importance of the logo, what various things indicate. You can have this, you can have this logo in color, or you can have this in black and white also. Both are allowed. And you can, but if it's in color, you have to use the color specified, and It can be there on the stamp also. You can put it on stamp also. Now, next is appearance of CA on electronic media. Appearance of CA on electronic media. We can appear on any shows or any program on internet, social media that is having good reach. Then below that, films, below that, televisions, below that, radios, below that, lectures at any forum. We can go and appear and contribute on any of these. Yes, that's absolutely fine. We can do that. And when you go there, you can write your name and describe yourself as a chartered accountant, and firm name is also allowed. That's very critical. Firm name is allowed. There are only very few places where firm name is allowed, and one of them is appearing. Firm name is allowed, but you can take part in whatever activity is there. You can give answers to the questions asked with your knowledge, but it should not be, they should not exaggerate about you or your firm. Comparison is not allowed, promotion is not allowed. See, it should not result in exaggeration and promotion and brand building exercise. It should not look like a brand building exercise, correct? See, if you see clause number 6, they have allowed firm name at 4 places. So I have used the shortcut big M. While writing books and articles, firm name is allowed. While giving interview, firm name is allowed. While putting greeting cards and invitation, firm name is allowed. In movie credits, firm name is allowed. Okay. Now, so these are very similar clarifications. When it comes to TV movie credits, clause 6 is applicable. When it comes to TV interviews, newspaper interviews, any kind of interviews, again clause 6 is applicable. But when it comes to appearance, clause 7 is applicable, and you should be careful for that. When it comes to appearance, clause 7 is there. When it comes to interviews and credits, clause 6 is there. What's common in them? That firm name is allowed in these cases, but highlighting and promoting, exaggerating is not allowed. That is not allowed. So be careful with that. You can simply pause and write down these things, because this comparison is important. This will give a lot of clarity of thoughts when you go and solve the case studies. Then we can definitely go and hold positions of public importance, like we can be mayor, corporators, MPs, MLAs, chairman of various committees or trust, which are of local or national importance. We can represent nation. That is absolutely fine. We are open to do all these things. We can express our views on a lot of matters. And when you are in this position, you're expressing views. CA Institute says you are encouraged. You should mention your membership as chartered accountant, and you should try to get positive publicity for CA, ICA and CA profession. You are a member. You should always give credit to the CA Institute and profession for your knowledge, your performance. You should always do that. But firm name is not allowed. Putting firm name is not allowed, else it will look like you are going for publicity. So that is not allowed, guys. Okay. So as I said, firm name is allowed in clause number 6. It is allowed only at 4 places. In clause number 7, it is allowed only at 2 places we are going to see. One of that we have already seen. Then seminars. CA in practice is having so much of knowledge, he can take seminars and sessions for his own staff, for staff of other chartered accountants in practice. In fact, for clients and client staff also, he can give material, booklets also. He can give booklets. Okay, that is absolutely fine. But then you do all these things, but you should not name of the chartered accountant should not be highlighted extraordinarily as if trying to give it importance and trying to make it should not be again overemphasized. Name should not be overemphasized. Now they're silent about the firm name, but then it is understood. If they would have wanted to allow firm name, they would have written it. The firm name is not allowed here again. Don't put firm name. Take seminars, give material, write names, but don't make it as a branding exercise. Then we talk about directors. We talk about directors. Chartered accountant in practice, we can become director. We are going to study this in clause number 11. So whenever you become director of any particular company, you should go and inform the company that, listen, clause 6 and 7 are applicable to me. Clause 6 prohibits me from soliciting work directly, indirectly through various means. Clause 7 prohibits advertising professional attainments. So whenever you are putting my name on any document, any material, first get it approved from me. First get it approved. Whatever quantity you are putting, I would like to read that. I will get it approved. If there's something which is against clause 6 or 7, I will ask you to change it. You can write my name. You can say that I am a chartered accountant. You can explain that I am a director in so and so companies, but then you cannot write firm name. You cannot write expertise, specialization, knowledge, and putting a lot of adjectives, and this is not allowed. If you do that, person will be guilty under both clause 6 and 7. So, situation, a person is appointed. Important step, he should himself inform so and so things are applicable, get things approved from him. What is allowed? Put designation chartered accountant, maybe put as a information you are director in other companies, that is absolutely fine, give that, but that no firm name and no highlighting. No firm name and no highlighting, that is not allowed. Then date of setting up of practice, year of establishment. You cannot boast your seniority. You are a chartered accountant, you are a professional. Don't try to say that you are much better than others and try to overemphasize your seniority. If your seniority, that is apparent from FCA, and that is enough, that is sufficient. Writing date of setting up of practice, year of setting of practice, year of establishment on visiting card and your letterheads is not allowed, or any other professional document. That is not allowed. Don't do that. That will be advertising professional attainments. Your experience is also professional attainment. Don't advertise it. Some of you may feel it's quite harsh, but then they have made it so that chartered accountants, so that it's a level playing field for everyone. Even the new chartered accountants should have good opportunity, good platform where they can work with their knowledge, skills. Okay, to have level playing field and to have respect for everyone, they have done this. Then Dr. R for reports and certificates. In reports and certificates, you will find name of the chartered accountant and name of the firm. That is fine. That is there. That's always there. It doesn't need to be specified. And when you make these reports, it's always there. These reports and certificates, they go to various authorities, and they go to people. People read it, refer it. So name gets noticed. That is absolutely fine. But you should not circulate reports and certificates more than what is necessary. It should not be circulated or printed in newspaper or pamphlets just to make your name as a brand. It should not be more than what is required. Circulation should be limited to what is necessary. Okay. Then next R is interesting. CA in practice can become regional council members. We have 5 regional councils of CA Institute. So they can become regional council members and they can become central council members. So there can be regional council members, there can be central council members, and it is absolutely fine. and they can have their visiting card and they can specify that they are RCM and CCMs. They have to meet government authorities and many people in capacity of RCM and CCMs. They can definitely have their visiting cards, and in those visiting cards they can put address either of office or residence. That is again allowed. Both the addresses can be written but without firm name. Again, firm name is not allowed. Now, at many places their writing firm name is not allowed. A very convenient way to bypass it is if you have the email ID containing firm name, then automatically firm name gets known to everyone. Okay. So there are minute things, there are some loopholes. If you are smart, you can do that, and there's nothing wrong. You're putting your email ID and your email ID has the firm name. You're playing with the rules. So if you want to make your firm name better, seen better, and you want everyone to know about it, simply you put firm name there. Then Dr. Nene, it's very common practice in India that if someone achieves something, it is printed in the newspapers, information is given in newspapers. It's a very popular trend which keeps happening, right, from 10th results, 12th results, and so on. So if a student becomes a chartered accountant, it is absolutely fine. It is allowed that a press note can be given. A notice press note can be given in the local newspapers for the success of chartered accountant, that of the candidate. Put the name, address, school, local background, fines, what examinations he has passed, place gained, and so on, everything. Name of the firm is also allowed. This is the second place. Second place. Now, while appearing on internet, films, TV, television, etc., there, and again, firm name is allowed. Firm name is allowed. Name of principal is also allowed. That's absolutely fine. But then no undesirable overemphasis and publicity of the candidate, of the principal or the firm. So no undesirable publicity of the firm below that principal, below that article. That should not be the case. Okay. Firm name is allowed. Again, amongst the few things where firm name is allowed. Then N stand for network firm and network guidelines. We are going to study about network. Chartered account CA firm can come together, then they can get associated with each other, and they can form a network. This network need to get registered with the CA Institute. Needs to get registered with the CA Institute. And then you can definitely write that you are a part of a network, you are an affiliate of a network. That is allowed. And there are separate guidelines for it. We are going to study it when we see guidelines. There is the last part of the chapter, guidelines. I've been repeating it again. You guys will get you must be very excited now. Oh, come on, I want to study guidelines. It has been referred so many times. Okay. Now, when it comes to visiting card, majority of things of visiting card are again covered by clause 7 only. A normal visiting card, on the left side, you will find a name, designation, chartered accountant, qualification, then the firm name is there. Writing name of multiple firms is absolutely fine. If you're partner with multiple firm, it is a fact. Give that factual information. On right side, you will find a CA logo. That is again fine. Below that, on the back side, you will find address, email ID, website address, fine. Don't ask people to visit it or click it. We are going to study. You can write only website address. Then quick response code. Now this QR code is very famous nowadays for payments. Whenever you are using UPI, Paytm, other apps, Google Pay, Phone Pay, etc. So QR code. On the same lines, you can have a QR code. You can have QR code on visiting card also. You can have it on visiting card also. Okay. That means moment someone scans that QR code, all the information which is normally presented in visiting card will get automatically saved in the mobile phone. That's a QR code. So that QR code is also allowed. Absolutely fine. What is not allowed? You cannot put year of establishment. We have studied that. You cannot put photographs. You are not a salesperson. Photographs are not allowed. Any other, see, we are not professionals focusing on beauty. We work on ethics principles. So photographs are not allowed. Any other logo is not allowed. We are associate of a bigger firm. Writing this is not allowed. We are going to study again later. We are associate of a big four. We are a correspondent of big four. No, not allowed. We are having ISO certification. Not allowed. Celebrating 75 years, 100 years. Not allowed. Vision, values, statements. As if you are different from all other firms. You are different, vision, value. Again, that is not allowed. These things are not allowed. Have a very simple visiting card, simple straightforward visiting card. Now, recent clarification. See guys, so these are traditional clarifications which we have seen just now. Apart from that, there are some more clarifications. Our content is, we look into CA material also, what kind of questions are there in exams, RTP, MTP, and then we streamline our content. Sometimes we delete few points, we add few points. That keeps on happening depending on what institute is doing. So these are few more clarification as per recent changes in study material, MTPs, RTPs. There are few additions and few deletions. Now, Kia Firms QR. K stand for knowledge partner. Sometimes organization put thank you advertisement, or in advertisement they specify these are our knowledge partners. So that's a respect to chartered accountants, that you are our knowledge partners. You are one of the guiding forces. You are one of the advisors, and they want to thank you. So when they put advertisement and they want to put name as a knowledge partner, CA's name as a knowledge partners, or they want to thank you, can that be done? Yes. In advertisement, CA's name can come as a knowledge partner. In thank you advertisement, he can be thanked about his contribution, but then no firm name. No firm name. Very simple. Firm name, as I said, they have allergy with the firm name. Allergy with the firm name. Name of individual member, prefix, suffix, CA, knowledge partner is allowed. Knowledge partner is allowed. Name of the individual CA, but firm name it is not allowed. ISO certification. ISO certification. Okay. Let's see. When it comes to ISO certificate, you can get ISO certification. You can say that internal control systems at your firm are very good. You maintain very high quality standards of your services. You get yourself ISO certified. That's fine. But you cannot write ISO certified. It should be actually you cannot put ISO certified on visiting cards and letterheads. That is not allowed, guys. Associates of CA firm. Associates of CA firm. You cannot put on your visiting card and letterheads that you are associate, that you are associate of so and so firm, correspondent of so and so firm. It will lead to publicity of both. You want to highlight that it is such a big firm that you are associate. You are a correspondent of such firm. And you want to increase your brand value also, that you are associate of them. Not allowed. You cannot put that. You can definitely, you can make a network, register a network with CA Institute, and then you can write that you're an affiliate of so and so network. That's a different thing. Putting name of some firm is not allowed. You make a network, get it registered with ICAI, get it registered with CA Institute. That can be done. And after doing that, you can write it affiliate of a network. That is allowed. But directly writing name of the firms, that is not allowed. Then, when we talk about firms, suppose a person is member in multiple firms, 3 to 4 firms. Can he write all the names? Yes, that's a fact. That's a fact. It should be given. That will bring more clarity to the people who are interacting with chartered accountant. You can put on visiting card, you can put on letterhead and professional documents. In changing world of technology, you can have quick response code on visiting card, scanning which. So once you scan that, information will get saved. But ensure that only that information gets saved which is allowed on a visiting card. Now guys, there are few cases where clause 6 and 7 both are applicable. I am giving you a recipe. I am again repeating, giving a recipe how to solve cases. As soon as you read the case and it's a promotion and advertisement field, think about clause 6 and 7. If it is a clarification, if you recollect, it is a clarification to clause 6, apply clause 6. If it is a clarification of clause 7, apply clause 7. And if it is, we are going to see some 8 cases, both 6 and 7, apply that. 99.9999% your case will get solved with absolute clarity with perfect clause numbers. As I said, it's not about interpretation of the words. Professional ethics is about understanding the pattern and remembering the clarification. Yes. So don't study it like DT, IDT or corporate law. That's again because students end up interpreting things like that and they get confused. See, we have done a lot of research over a period of time. Such kind of interpretations are of no use at all. No use at all, guys. Now, FB and Chroma is the shortcut. F stand for firm. So what one firm did, that they said that a partner from one of the largest accounting firms of the world has joined them, and now their firm can give more services, better services. So they're inviting everyone, you come and take services from us. They're soliciting work from others. They're sending letters and soliciting work. So that is clause 6. And they're saying that so and so partner is knowledgeable, very popular, very dynamic, and they're exaggerating, highlighting professional attainments. So clause 7. Not allowed under both. It will be guilty of professional misconduct. Putting up big banners. Again, that is for soliciting work, and you're trying to say that you are a bigger firm than others by putting up banners. So even that is not allowed under clause 6 and 7 both. Sanitary celebrations. So we have seen this. If you're going for silver, golden, platinum, sanitary celebration, you can put advertisement in newspaper and invite everyone for an event. That is allowed. That is absolutely fine. Allowed under that is allowed by CA Institute under clause 6 and 7. But you cannot make a book. You cannot make a book history of the firm. History of the firm and circulate amongst everyone. You can make a history, keep it with yourself. You cannot make history book and circulate amongst all the associates, well-wishers, clients. You are making this history just to, it is history, it is indirectly your solicitation work, and you're trying to advertise professional attainments with that. And putting celebrating 75 years, 100 years on visiting cards and letterhead, even that is not allowed. That is not allowed. People have done that and institute has punished them. Then there's some website, they say that you give us data. How many articles are there? How many employees are there? How many clients are there? You give all this data to us. How much fees do you collect in 6 months? You collect all this information, and with the help of that you go for ranking, and then we will rank you that what is your ranking across India. See, you are doing this so that people appreciate your work and you get more work. You're trying to solicit work and you're highlighting professional attainments. It will be misconduct in 6 and 7 both. Regarding offer document, we have seen it's responsibility of chartered accountant to inform the company and ensure that it doesn't result in solicitation of the work, and it doesn't result in solicitation, doesn't result in highlighting professional attainments. We already seen. Then some chartered accountants sent letters to managing directors that, see, we are a very big firm, we are giving service to many companies, many big companies, many of the MDs, and so we are inviting you to take our services. They are soliciting work, guilty under clause 6, and then trying to portray that they are very big, bigger than others. So under 6-7 also. You can go to audience and speak your firm name also, but then you are saying, come take services from us, distributing business cards. That is not allowed. And then saying that you are the best chartered accountant, management expert, so guilty under 6 and 7 both. So if you apply this simple rule which I have said, that's why we have arranged it beautifully with the help of shortcuts, so that you remember clarifications of 6, clarifications of 7, and where both need to get applied.